Good afternoon. It is 3 o'clock from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joseph Bonanno. We are 1 day away from roster cut date as the Tennessee Titans have until 3 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday to get the roster down to 53 players for the initial roster. The first reported cut by the Titans came today with defensive back Tay Gowan getting released earlier this afternoon. In Titans news today, Brian Callahan updated that linebacker Chance Campbell tore his ACL in the preseason win over the Saints and will be out for the season. Callahan also said that fourth-round rookie linebacker Cedric Gray is dealing with a nerve-related issue in his shoulder and has no timetable for his return. The big news in the NFL today, Cowboys and star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb agreed on a massive 4-year, $136 million contract that makes him the second highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. The deal includes $100 million guaranteed and a $38 million signing bonus, the largest ever given to a wide receiver. In other NFL news, 49ers star left tackle Trent Williams will continue his holdout until he gets a new contract, according to Jeremy Fowler. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air. We got a lot of football to talk about. This is the first Monday of the college football season being a full go. We also have tons of Titans to talk about. There's she's Dawn Davenport.
Hey, what's up?
What up, Yvette?
So, happy Monday, people. I mean, we're in it now. College football's here. NFL's about to be here.
I mean, the Titans play in less than 2 weeks. We're ready to go.
I love it.
Yeah, Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. It's so hot this week, too. Slay Dog's here.
I'm in the building.
I kind of like that version of how y'all do that.
It's good like that.
Yeah.
It's a little playoff.
It flows.
It's time for the show.
Yes, indeed. Titans win the preseason finale 30-27 in New Orleans. Titans go undefeated in the preseason. Is that important to you guys?
No.
I will say this. It is the first time the Titans have been undefeated in the preseason since 2003. You know what they did that year?
I do.
12-4. Mm-hmm. Won a playoff game.
That's over-under.
First time with 30 points in any game since December of 2021.
Oh, that's fun.
It is. You know
how
what, though?
it was against Tuesday. Last game.
No, I mean, that's true.
You know I had to bring that up.
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
And it is true. But my only pushback on that is, hey, man, when we saw San Francisco do that against our Tools, it was what it was. You know what I mean? And we got to accept it. So I'm glad we're seeing them guys go out there and perform and don't play to the level of your competition. If those are the twos, treat them like the twos. If they the threes, treat them like the threes. They better hope they play a little bit later so they can hopefully get on the team, because you playing against these ones, your butt in trouble.
And you can go find Wizzy, and he's on the ones and twos. I don't know about the threes.
Yeah, somebody else got the threes.
You, maybe.
I'll take them. No, hey, man. Well, I thought it was. It doesn't mean a lot to me. I'm with Babsy on that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, give me a win.
I'll say this, though.
Morale or something.
It is refreshing to watch. And granted, they're just working on what they're working on offensively. It's not like full game plan. Here we go.
Yep.
But isn't it fun to noticeably watch a different system?
Yes. And how many times would that have been in the last 2 years, regardless of who you going against? That, first of all, that don't make sense. But who you going against makes more sense. That offensive line not holding and giving that guy a pocket. Mm-hmm. I mean, and that, not only for
we never would have seen the ones in the last couple of
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's
true.
Refreshing to see that.
Could you imagine, like, Callahan trotting Daly out at left tackle, trying to run some screen game and let him get down the field? Can you imagine that?
He's available.
Stop it. Stop that blasphemy. I heard, was it Will Bowling this morning? Yes, Will Bowling this morning was like, Daly's available. I'm like,
come on.
you
No,
better take that crap out of there.
That had to be fake or Sudafed will or something.
I mean,
He tried to lean into it, though.
He did lean into it a little
Like,
bit. Now, I will
Well, I'd
say,
have fun with that.
Bowling's point was those are the kind of players that are
be able to
available that you will be able to go get.
Well, okay. Well, if that's
which
his
makes
greater
sense.
point,
No,
then
but still, I don't care. Don't
Yeah,
bring
I don't
that
want
guy's
that
name
one
up. I don't care if he got better.
It's
I
got
don't
to be
care.
somebody better than that, though.
He's got to go.
well,
he's out.
Baldy's breakdowns. I mean, he's loving this Titans offensive line.
I'm loving this
Shoot,
Titans
we all
offensive
are.
line.
Those double team blocks on the left side.
Ugh.
I don't care who that's against. Just watching them dance and be in rhythm together
Give it to me.
because they are.
Give it to me, baby.
My take is sorry. Go ahead, please.
No, we completed
did
our
our
thing.
song. Yeah, we did our song. We did
You
our
guys
duet.
He says he
You
got
done?
one by
Yeah, we
me
did
on
our
Friday.
duet. Now you looking for him, though, so it don't make sense no more. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it for another month.
We sat at Benihana, and my man Slay said, I got one by you today, talking about song lyric that I didn't catch.
Oh, the
And-
cuts have started.
I'm gonna find.
Yeah, they will. So cut down date. I'm glad you said that. Cut down deadline is Tuesday at 3:00. It's tomorrow when we come on the air, but you'll see them all day long.
Mm-hmm.
So the teams that played on Saturday already started cutting players yesterday.
Right.
You know what I mean? But no, Slay said he got a song lyric by me. We sat at Benihana. I said, I don't know because I didn't hear it. And so then he
Clearly.
wanted to prove himself correct. And so he literally sat at Benihana with his phone up to his ear for like an hour trying to find it.
Oh my gosh, what a waste of
He
time.
listened to the whole show.
Also,
much.
has anyone ever gone to Benihana and eaten everything presented to them?
Yeah.
Did Slay?
Not this time, but I will. But you know what the problem is? I hate that feeling after.
Right. Oh, it's
Like you can't
miserable.
move,
Stuck.
stomach hurt,
Your
you can't take
entire
a drink.
stomach is filled with rice.
Yeah, that ain't
Number one.
That ain't cool. I never thought about that part.
Wait,
anyway.
none of these cuts that have happened, A to Z put out the first initial list. None of them are surprised. Do we care?
Yeah, read them.
Is that mean for me to say? I'm sorry.
little bit.
I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, yeah, it is
That's
a
their
little mean,
dreams,
but
Babsy.
I mean, you're just crushing their dreams.
Okay.
Now,
No,
are they
you know what?
surprised that they were cut? No.
No. Okay. Tackle Brian Dooley, corner Tay Gowan, linebacker Mikael Jones, linebacker Thomas Rush, wide receiver Sam Schnee, tight end Stevens. I can't ever say his name. Stilianos.
We tried that on the sideline one day.
Yeah, we did.
I forgot about that.
Punter Ty Zittner and waived injured linebacker JoJo Doman.
No, I like him.
Injured. He was injured.
Oh, darn.
See ya.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, but he had a hell of a practice and a hell of a game right
Guess
before he
what?
got injured in practice, I think.
Guess what?
Yeah, he gone.
He gone.
Mark him off then.
Mark him off then. He's injured.
So, speaking of punter, how about Ryan Stonehouse, first punt, 53 yards in the air?
Yes.
Welcome back, bud.
Welcome back,
And the hold on the field goal.
Mr. Cotter. The hold on the field goal.
Man,
Take that one for granted
that
sometimes.
had to be,
That
I mean, he talked about it, obviously, but I just can't imagine the mental feeling of that punt in a somewhat real game to just like settle his soul.
We
you know?
talked about it with him. It was
I
kind
know
of a
that's
PTSD
deep,
thing. But he said, because, this was when the talk was they're going to, hold him out of the preseason. And he was like, man, I want to see the rush. I have to feel it.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you can't simulate.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to come out here hard trying to block me. You know what I mean?
You would have been more nervous doing the punt or the hold.
Speaking of blocking,
Whoa. So there's,
It's a scent.
did
or
somebody
something.
make popcorn?
It smells like
is coming in.
popcorn.
Yeah, I think it's in the roof. I mean, not in the roof, but
Zeph,
the smell.
roof- the
Zeph,
roof-
do
the
you
roof is
smell
on
it in
fire.
there or is it just our room?
No, I smell it back here.
Oh my
too.
gosh, it's everywhere.
So it's in
So
the
it
vents.
is. Oh, that's good. People should do that more.
you
It
want to talk
smells like
about
butter.
how
butter.
incredible are we that we get distracted by the smell of buttered popcorn?
I don't know.
Also,
I'm about to
Eggy
hit the
Bop's in
kitchen
there. I
and
have to say,
see
seen him in forever.
what a pop.
What a bop. No, but what about Will Levis turning down the block on the reverse?
Yeah.
Because there were three dudes over there. And I was kind of hoping that, who was it, 19, that got tackled? I was kind of hoping he'd get
Jaquan.
tackled. Yeah,
Yep.
Jaquan.
Jaquan Jackson. He was getting to it. Will Levis was coming around that corner like, all right, I can at least get one of y'all or maybe
you
two.
can see with Levis, like, the thought process is in his head. Because
And
he,
was
he comes around, looks like he's going to block, and then he kind of stops.
Yep.
And then he goes
Yep.
again, like, man, I really need to do this for
Smart
my teammate.
play.
But no.
Learn that you are the franchise, air quotations, quarterback guy. Relax.
Tristan and Brentwood first up today. Tristan, what's up?
Hey, are we going to keep wide receiver Curious Jackson from Georgia? And also, I have one great story for Dawn. I was down at Auburn last Saturday for my birthday, and I got your coach, there's food on your shirt. Yes, he fell for the oldest trick in the book. I guess I can beat any FBS level coach.
Damn, Tristan.
Wow.
Poor Hugh. I'm glad you got to visit the Plains, though. It's the best place, isn't it?
I've never been there.
Yes, I've been there a couple times.
I've never been
there. Yes, I just love telling that story of getting a head football coach in the FBS level.
Good job by you, Tristan. Awesome, brother.
Okay, thanks.
All right, see you,
Take
man.
care, Tristan.
615-737-1045.
I'm sorry. You've never been to Auburn? Not in your college days when you traveled to UT games? Nothing?
No. Mm-mm.
Wow, Mayor.
I know, right?
Okay.
It's awful. I haven't been to Ole Miss either.
I knew that one because that's also
Arkansas, but
awful.
that's like a long way away. Pretty much
okay.
every other one.
If I
I've
end
been to
up
Mississippi
working-
State, but I haven't been to Auburn.
Right, that's crazy. If I end up working an Auburn game this year, we're gonna figure something out.
Hell
Talk to
yeah.
John Barker and Two Rivers Ford.
Hell.
Send us all down there.
Yeah.
Although he
Hell
is an
yeah.
Ole Miss
He's
guy.
Ole Miss guy.
I know.
What are you
but-
talking about?
What's it, about a 5-hour drive?
Barker's about to text you right now.
I know. He's Ole Miss
There's like
guy.
a 40-second delay, so your phone will ding here in about 30 seconds.
Maybe he'll let us borrow an Explorer. Oh, a Bronco. It's Bronco month.
Oh. Can I fit in there? All three of us? Or four?
Meh. Maybe we'll get a F-150.
This sounds better.
When
You
we,
can in some of them.
Yeah.
We will talk a lot of Titans football today. You'll hear a lot of audio from Brian Callahan, and we'll get your take on what you saw as the roster cuts are beginning to happen. We will keep you updated with that. There's tons of NFL news, too. But when we come back, we're going to turn our attention toward college football, figure out what happened with Florida State, but also take a look at Tennessee, Vandy, Georgia, Clemson, some of the bigger games coming up this week. Dawn is in Texas. Her point spread is 36.5.
Oh, my gosh.
We will be right
That's a
back
monster number.
with Chris Lowe from ESPN.com next on 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, people? Now, if you're feeling a little tired, lacking motivation and drive, fellas, I'm talking to you, so your ears perked up for a reason. You need to get over to Low T Center. Get all of your vitals checked, man. They take care of everything. Doesn't take anything but 25 minutes to get your results back. Simple blood test. Knock it out. Boom, bam, bip. It's over with. Your BMI and health can also be evaluated for treatment. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment today. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. I know you guys hear about 8 million window and door companies out there, but I'm here to tell you that I researched them all, and as a customer, picked Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville before I even started talking about them here on the air. If you know that you need new windows, especially with winter coming, with cold temps coming. You want to keep your heat inside your house. Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville can help you out. They're the best. I've loved the experience with them. And you might be surprised to learn how affordable replacement windows are from Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. And they also have this deal going on, which is 50% off qualifying installations and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 months. So if you're like us and you had to do a bunch of house improvements all at the same time, guess what? You can take 12 months to pay off your new windows and doors from Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Schedule that free consultation. Tell them Dawn sent you. Check out this special offer. All you have to do is go online, PellaNashville.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. Hope you're having a great Monday. College football season is here. We're going to get Chris Lowe in just a second.
Week uno.
Yes, I did get a text. Hotty toddy.
That is hysterical. John Parker, always listen.
All right, so maybe if we go to if I get an Ole Miss game, we'll make that one happen.
You know what? That? Well, MTSU plays there, so
that's right.
I will go there. Either John heard it or he had or both had a bunch of people text him, because that typically happens when we mention people's names on this show. So. Anyway, a lot of games to get into. We will talk more about the Titans. Linebacker Chance Campbell tore his ACL, done for the year. That's terrible news.
Bless his heart.
He had really played himself into a rotational player.
He knew it too.
Yes, he did.
Immediate, like you saw his reaction. He knew it. I wonder if he heard it snap.
Linebacker Cedric Gray. I had a friend that tore his ACL playing. You did it. I mean, he tore his ACL playing baseball, so it's kind of quiet, and he was. The pitcher tried to pick him off first, and he was going to steal, and then had to go back to first quickly. Mm-hmm. He said it sounded like a gunshot.
That's great. Everybody's
just different. Yeah,
mine, because I didn't hear anything. I just knew something was wrong because I couldn't get up. Mm-hmm. It's a dumb injury.
It is a dumb injury. Linebacker Cedric Gray dealing with a nerve-related issue with his shoulder. No return timetable. That one, you have no idea how to evaluate that one.
Where that came from. Like, sheesh. Shoulders, man.
It's a dumb injury.
That most definitely is.
Rams have given linebacker Ernest Jones IV the ability to seek a trade. LA's green dot last year. Head communicator on defense, 145 tackles at inside linebacker, 4.5 sacks.
Kick the tires?
Yes. And so the last two inside linebackers that have been traded, for whom have been traded, I think one went for a 5th-round pick and one went for a 6th. Mm. So if that's what you're looking at, Dunzo, let's go. You have to have it. You got Dr. Gibby and Kenneth Murray, and what else?
Chance Campbell was the guy.
Nope.
Right.
He gone.
What's the name, though? Don't be surprised, man. Dude, slick coming along. Williams.
Yes, he is. We were talking about this last week. He is going to be a player.
Yep, but
he's just moved from safety to linebacker. So not only is he having to learn a new position, he's also having to adjust to life in the NFL. But that guy's a thumper, dude.
Man, when he go see ball, he go find ball.
See ball, hit ball. Chris Lowe joins us now. Talks some college football. Chris, on the front end, Colorado bans a reporter for asking Deion Sanders questions. Have you ever been banned?
Back when Slay was at Tennessee, they should ban me from asking him questions.
I was about to say.
Or they banned Slay from answering questions.
This is the problem. He would be banned, but then as soon as the press conference was over, he would catch me outside and ask me the question anyway. So
it's funny you asked that question. I remember a spell there, Slay. You may remember this, where I don't know if you guys were playing badly or that all the players got mad at the media. They said they weren't going to answer any more questions.
Yeah.
And I remember Jeff Muir was the sports information director there, and he comes to me and says, "Hey," and this tells you something about my boy Slay. Said Ron Slay said he'd still answer your question.
It's like he's gonna be the only one go talk. Yeah?
Now that we're talking about this, I do remember, and I don't remember why. Maybe you do. Dave Hooker got suspended by Philip Fulmer one time and couldn't go to practice.
Wow, he did. He's some author a non-authorized interview he did with somebody, and he tracked someone down on campus. Which, I mean, that's what. Here's my thing on all this, and I know everybody has media usually takes up for media, coaches take up for coaches. We all need to be big boys here, and if a coach doesn't want to talk to a media representative, then he has every right not to.
Yep,
that's his deal, right? If a media representative decides, he's going to keep coming and keep asking questions, and he's going to write what he wants to write. If he's a columnist, I mean, I've never been big on calling people names or using names to describe somebody. I don't think you have to do that, but there's more than one way to do it. I just think both sides need to sort of figure out a way to stand up and be adults here. And, Deion's going to Deion, but it's not the first time. I mean, remember, the head ball coach decided when he was in Columbia, he was going to talk to the main columnist there at the state newspaper. So he wasn't going to answer his questions.
Who
he
was
did
it?
the same thing with Larry Guest. Yeah, well, no, it was Ron Morris. But when he was in Florida, I remember Larry Guest, Orlando Sentinel, used to take him to task, and he quit talking to Larry Guest. I'll never forget being at the press conference and Spurs, answering questions. Larry Guest raised his hand, and Spurs goes, Larry, you're going to keep trying. You're just going to keep trying, but I'm not going to answer any questions. So
it happened to me once.
It's a little unfair. I'm being long. It's a little unfair. I think Deion's being a little childish, okay?
Yes.
But it's a little unfair to act like he's the first coach to ever do this.
Right.
He's not the first coach to ever do this.
I made the mistake early in my career. I'd gotten to know Pat Summitt a little bit, and I had her phone number. And so I called her and asked her if she would do an interview. And she was like, sure, no problem. It was for like 2 days later. And, man, Chris, you remember Debbie Jennings, who worked in the Lady Vault? She called me and let me have it. I was immediately like, I'm sorry, Debbie. I'm sorry. I'll never do it again.
Hey, that was you're treading on thin ice. So you called Pat Summitt, and Debbie Jennings was a long-time SID there. Everything went through there. And I don't think you could even look in Pat's direction without first checking with Debbie.
So, lesson learned, right? All right, let's start with the game that was played. Georgia Tech upsets number 10 Florida State 24-21. Aiden Burr makes a 44-yard field goal as time expires. Knocks the Seminoles off in Dublin, Ireland. How surprised were you that Florida State couldn't deal? They couldn't run the ball at all.
No, I didn't think Florida State was as good as a lot of people were saying. I knew they just lost too many players. They lost a ton of players, and heard some people saying they had the best defensive line in the country. I mean, listen, I've seen Alabama practice. I've seen Ole Miss practice. I've seen Georgia practice. There ain't no way they're better up front than those schools are. But I still was surprised that Georgia Tech beat them. And I think the cool thing about that game is Brent Key, an old offensive lineman, an old offensive line coach, is Georgia Tech beat them sort of the old school way. They lined up and knocked them off the football, ran the ball. And a lot of people now in college football think, well, unless you're the Blue Bloods and you recruit the elite offensive linemen and the elite running backs, Ohio State, Bama, Georgia, Texas, you can't play that way and win. Well, guess what? Georgia Tech played that way, and they won. Now, can you do it over the course of the entire season? I don't know, but it was pretty cool to see that old school style of football. And Georgia Tech just kept running it over and over and over and say, if you could stop it, stop it. But until you stop it, we're going to keep running it.
Yeah. Clemson, Georgia coming up on Saturday. Can't wait to see that Georgia offense. Obviously, Carson Beck, one of the best quarterbacks in America, if not the best. Running back Trevor Etienne, which is a great story. Now that we're into college football season, we're all revisiting a Florida player transferring to Georgia. That's pretty phenomenal. But then I've got a question about Clemson, I guess, more so than Georgia. They take a step back last year, Chris. They were 9-4. I went and looked. That snapped a run of 12 consecutive double-digit win seasons. Kay Klubnik back at quarterback. Dabo just said today that he's not going to take live phone calls on his coach's show. Like, what is going on with Clemson?
I mean,
yeah, well,
I can't believe coaches still do. Can you, CeeLo?
Yeah.
I love it.
First thing I'd say is I got a feeling Etienne will not play in this game. I think they'll hold him out for suspension. Now,
okay,
I don't have necessarily any inside info, but just sort of reading through the lines, even though his DUI charge was dropped, I got a feeling he may not play, or at least part of the game. But listen, coaches make a ton of money. Dabo makes $10 million, $11 million a year. I think to some degree, all coaches have a little bit of a glass jaw. And if a guy wants to call up, like I know this is all over that goofy call last year where Tyler for Spartanburg called. He got all over
Oh, yeah.
Dabo. But here's the thing. It works both ways. You know, if a coach decides he's going to take phone calls, which I personally think he should, well, he's got to be ready to answer whatever they ask. But you know what? If the coach lights into the caller, the way Dabo did last year, because he felt like he was a little over the top, a little unfair, then I don't think there should be a whole lot made about it. It works, you know, it's sort of a two-way street, you know, and if you're going to take calls, again, going back to sort of your question about Deion and the columns, you know, everybody's got to be a big boy. You know what the rules are, the ground rules, you know what the stakes are. I think more and more with the way media has changed, not always for the best, and the way schools and athletic departments are becoming increasingly They want them to control everything, the narrative.
Yes.
You're going to see more. You're going to see more of these kind of things happening. Gosh, I'm so old. I remember when you go to every practice, you stand around and watch practice.
The whole
you
thing.
Stand there, and John Chavis would walk off the field, and Philip Fulmer would walk off the field, Leonard Little walk off the field, and Peyton, and you just pull them aside and talk to them. I mean, can you imagine that now? You tell media now, they think you're from the prehistoric age.
Or they just don't believe you. Like, that's not even possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, and with Slay and I went to the Strip, hung out at OCI and did the interview.
See?
You want to go grab lunch? Let's go.
They didn't have the cameras back then.
What are you looking for from Chris Lowe with us from ESPN.com from Vanderbilt against Virginia Tech? 2-touchdown underdog, 13.5, somewhere in there. But they've lost 10 games in a row. They haven't won a football game since September 2nd of last year. Diego Pavia, Don is familiar with him. He is the quarterback, I would imagine. Nate Johnson also transferred in from Utah. Different offense. New Mexico State OC Tim Beck comes in. What do you look for from Vanderbilt? I guess the other thing is they lost their entire wide receiver room to the portal.
Yeah, well Clark has overhauled that really entire program. From strength to bringing a new quarterback, new players, and talking with him in Dallas. That was intentional. He felt like they needed to basically, I don't want to say start over, but certainly they needed to make a ton of changes if they were going to be competitive and have a chance to win in the SEC. I tell you one thing, I would not want to fight Pavia. I would not want to be in an alley by myself with that guy. He is a tough customer, and I think he's going to be able to make some plays for them in situations where maybe there's not really a play to be made because of his toughness, his ability to make some tough yards and get out there and maybe extend the play a little bit. I do think that will open up things for them offensively. Now, as far as Virginia Tech, this should be Brent Pry's best team there.
Yeah.
They've got just about everybody coming back, and I think there's a little bit of restlessness there in Blacksburg, but I do think they are the team in the ACC. And maybe it's Georgia Tech too, but Virginia Tech to me is probably that team in the ACC that people aren't talking about enough that I think will be a really good football team once we get to the end of the season.
I think one key element to this football game, I think defensively for Vanderbilt, middle linebacker Langston Patterson, who led the team in tackles last year without starting a game. That is phenomenal. He is the starter now. He is a captain. C.J. Taylor at safety. Those guys are going to have to be really active against Virginia Tech quarterback Kyron Jones. He's 6'2", 234, set a bowl game record in the Military Bowl with 176 yards rushing. So he's a lot to deal with at 234. So I think those two guys are going to have big game against that quarterback.
Yeah, well, first of all, to me, Taylor's the most underrated player in the conference. I really believe that. He is a tackling machine. He is solid. He's consistent. He's going to be back to playing his natural position at safety.
Yeah.
Vandy's got to tackle well. And I know that sounds like, okay, Mr. Obvious, but they've got to tackle in space. They can't let Virginia Tech, whether it's a quarterback or anybody else, continue to make yards after contact. And yeah, those two guys are critical, but everybody on defense, I think you got to gang tackle. They got to get to the football and not let, what should be a 2 or 3 yard gain turn into 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 yards. That to me is the thing to watch. Can they make those plays in the open field, and can they eliminate Virginia Tech from making a lot of yards after contact?
Chris Lowe with us from ESPN.
Low, man, it's going down on Rocky Top. I don't know if a season has been this anticipated by the fan base with Nico taking over at the helm in the last 15 years maybe or so. But it's good to be where it is now. Do they make a statement with this opening up against Chattanooga before getting ready to go play against NC State, or what should we look to see? What do you look to see?
I don't know how much we're going to really be able to tell about Tennessee from Saturday's game. I mean, I guarantee you what Josh Heupel hopes is he's playing a bunch of freshmen, a bunch of second, third team guys late in the third quarter. Yeah. And A, you get to see what those guys can do in a real game, and B, you rest your main guys. Now, coaches are never going to come out Slay and say that before a game,
right.
But that would be the ideal scenario. I'll say this about Iamaleava. I think he has more expectations and more on his shoulders walking on the campus. Now, granted, he's been there for a year, but going in this year as a first-time starter than any player since Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
I don't think I was thinking about that last week. I can't remember another player who's come into that program and generated the kind of hype and excitement, been so highly rated. Clearly, he's a very, very talented kid with elite arm talent that people think and expect him to walk in and be, the next coming of Peyton Manning. I don't think there's been another player, and maybe there's one or two that I'm forgetting about, but I sort of went through in my mind. He's got a lot on him, and it will be, to me, fascinating, intriguing to see how he handles it and how he handles the grind of the SEC, because he can throw it.
Yeah.
He can really throw it. He's got great feel in the pocket. But week to week to week, when he starts getting hit, and a lot of that depends on how they protect him, how we see him grow as a leader and as a quarterback.
When you look at it that way, isn't this the time that we really need to see if this is the number one defensive line, so it can take pressure off of them? Dylan Sampson, Peyton Lewis, all these guys getting Cam Seldon, all these guys getting healthy. If they can play up to their potential, it should be able to take a little bit of pressure off of them.
Well, yeah, first of all, our main man, Rodney Garner, who's as good a defensive line coach as there is in college football, is the ultimate. I mean, he makes Lou Holtz look bad when it comes to poor mouthing. Rodney can have Reggie White and Richard Seymour and Warren Sapp and all. Chris, I just don't know how good we are. We got to see it on the field.
Yeah.
These guys, though, in terms of depth play and size, just big physical guys who can move. It's the best I think they've been in the defensive line since those early 2000s when you were there, when you had John Henderson, you had Albert Haynesworth.
Yeah.
I think this is certainly as good a looking defensive line. Now, they got to go out and do it.
Right.
But I do think where you're going to see it show up is in the second half of games, in the fourth quarter, when you don't have to play those interior guys as many snaps. You can roll them in and roll them out of there. And, you come into those last 3, 4, 5 possessions of a game, you got fresh guys on the field there in the middle of that defensive line. Yeah. And you got a guy, number 27, who's pretty good at going and getting the quarterback. Of course, I'm talking about James Pierce.
Yes, sir.
If he stays healthy, can he grab that 15 sacks? That Reggie White's season record is 15.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, of course, what everybody looks for is more than sacks, is how many times he impacts the passer, how many times he forces him to throw it early or throw it away or bad throws. And I think when you look at total pressures, which is what the pros look at, but I do think he's talented enough, Brent, to get to that number. And hey, listen, they're good on the other side, too. It's not like they can just load up and shadow him. They're going to have to pick their poison a little bit. So I do think he's that kind of talent. ESPN did the top 100 players, and I'm sure you guys know he was ranked number 1 overall. We talked to a ton of NFL people, a ton of coaches, a ton of other people in the media, in putting that list together. And I talked to one personnel director, college personnel director in the pros, several other scouts, and all of them told me that if they were choosing an edge rusher right now, he would absolutely be their top pick.
Wow.
Chris Lowe with us from ESPN. That's something, man. Chris, Don has Texas, Colorado State at Texas. Quinn Ewers comes back, so we get to look at him. The interesting part of that storyline for me, and you've dug a lot deeper than I have, Don, but their 3 wide receivers are all transfers, and I can't wait to see what that looks like with Isaiah Bond, Golden, and Bolden. What do you think about Texas, Chris?
Well, I just think it's sort of a sign of times, too. You're going to, and Ole Miss has done the same thing. Missouri's done it a little bit. I mean, Tennessee's done it in the offensive line. You got to go find guys that you can plug in at key positions, receiver, offensive tackle, cornerback, and Sark has done that at Texas, especially at receiver. Now, there's something to be said for chemistry with the quarterback and his receivers. We'll see how that works out. But they've got, losing the running back was certainly not ideal. But I do think they have guys that can make plays. And I think even though they lost some of their muscle up front on defense there, the 2 big interior tackles, they've recruited well enough and developed that I don't think they're going to drop off a whole bunch. I want to see – this is the first time in a long time. And every year Texas is probably a little bit overhyped. This is the first time in a long time, though, that they're coming off a year where they delivered. They made the playoff last year for the first time. Can they sustain that? Can they be that program that they should be and be a playoff team now for 2, 3, 4 years in a row, especially with the playoff expanding to 12 teams? I think that, to me, is my question about Texas. How do they handle that? Where do they go from here off the momentum of last year?
Chris, thank you, man. We're here, finally. Love it.
Let's go, Lo.
Hey, as HBC used to say, yeah, talking season's over. Talking season's over.
The head ball coach. I love it. College football's here when Chris Lowe's doing his Steve Spurrier imitation. Thank you, Chris.
All right, see you guys.
All right. Man, we got tons to get to. College football, the NFL. Titans are beginning to make cuts. We'll give you that list when we come back. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, people? Go get you some jewelry. Where you going to get some jewelry from? You're going to go to Brentwood Jewelry. That's where I went to. You probably watching this on Zone TV and see a nice little shiny piece up on the finger. Yes, that would be Brentwood Jewelry. They always deliver 7012 Church Street East. That is the location. The location, people. What is wrong with me? The location right there in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. They give you exceptional style, exceptional deals. It's been happening every day for over 50 years. Go in and get anything that you're looking for. I promise you. It's earrings, bracelets, watches, heirlooms you want to get refurbished. You want to get them shined back up. You want to get them to give to someone to hand down in your family. I promise you, Brandon will never let you down. The engagement pieces, I just spoke about that. The watches, yes, indeed, that's still there. Bremont, Tissot, Oris, Longines, it does not matter. You can't go wrong. Just hurry on over to Brentwood Jewelry. That's BrentwoodJewelry.com.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
You ever wonder why so many pro athletes go and use stem cell therapy? Because it works. I'm Ron Slade, retired 14-year pro basketball player, and I needed to get this done. After I went through my entire career riddled with injuries, I needed therapy, so I went to Kellum Stem Cell Institute out in Franklin. Why? Because they're the stem cell specialists. They can be yours too. They're the stem cell specialists of the Tennessee Titans. You know why? Because it works.
Make an appointment today with Kellum Stem Cell Institute.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Norton on Davenport. Ron Slay.
That's right.
Man, we got some Thursday night games coming.
You know, I want NFL. I saw them advertising during the game. Leave Fridays alone, people. You can throw a college football game in there every time. NFL, leave. I know it's too late now, but next year,
No, they're going to do it.
leave it alone, man. Dang.
Keep it to the high school kids.
Yeah, man. We're invading the space.
Arkansas Pine Bluff at Arkansas. So I'm going to watch these games, even though they're humongous spread games, right?
Yeah,
because there are reasons. Like, I'm anxious to see, and we met him at Media Days, Hogs quarterback Taylon Green,
Yes.
the transfer from Boise State.
Amazing.
He's listed at 6'6". If people saw the picture with him standing right next to you,
Yeah, everybody 6'7.5", 6'8". Long, too. Not
I mean,
just
long.
like,
Yeah.
it's long
That's not
limbs.
necessarily a good thing for a quarterback now.
that's why they list him down. But good luck at the combine. 6:30 ESPNU. Murray State at Missouri, number 11 ranked Missouri. A couple things interested in regarding the Missouri offense. Number one, the explosive passing game, right? Quarterback Brady Cook is back. 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Luther Burden, the third, is the best wide receiver in America. 1,212 yards, 9 touchdowns, 86 receptions last year. And then Theo Weiss is back, too. He's not getting the attention because of Burden, but he was very good last year as well. The thing, though, and you keep bringing it up, how do they replace 276 carries and impactful carries from Cody Schrader?
Yes. Third and long. Don't worry about throwing it to Luther Burden. They're going to double him. Give it to Blake. He was going to get it.
They get a transfer running back from Georgia State. His name is Marcus Carroll. I know nothing about him other than his stats. He did carry the ball 274 times, though, last year for 1,350. Murray State, they were bad. They went 2-9. They changed their coach. So they've got Jody Wright is the head coach now at Murray State. It's his first year. He was the tight ends coach at South Carolina the last 2 seasons. But Murray State lost their last 7 games last year. So those are a couple of the Thursday night games that we'll be looking at. Mentioned Texas. The 3 transfer wide receivers. Isaiah Bond is from Alabama. Number 1 rated
Legit.
wide receiver in the portal.
Yeah, Babs definitely knows him.
Yep. And then Matthew Golden from Houston.
By the way, Slay
was a
said
top
that
10
because if
portal guy.
anybody forgot, we talked to him Friday, by the way.
Hey, yeah.
He what was it? 4th and,
A mile.
yeah. Auburn lost
See,
because of him.
I wasn't
In
going
the
down there.
corner of the end zone. Like,
I mean,
how the hell does that
was
even
nuts.
happen?
That was nuts, Babs. I'm
How
gonna be
does that
honest.
even happen?
Yeah, that was not supposed to happen. I'm gonna be
half a time out of 100.
It can only happen in that series. That can never happen in another series.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which is why you just never know in those rivalry games.
Don't.
So you got
Anyway,
distracted.
so now
but yeah.
I'm sorry. So now he's at Texas.
Yes, and Matthew Golden from Houston. He was a top 10 portal guy also. And then Silas Bolding comes over from Oregon State. He caught 54 balls, almost 800 yards, 5 touchdowns last year. So I'm anxious to see what those guys look like with Quinn Ewers.
And think about it, too. I mean, there is a ton of newcomers on this Texas team, like transfer portal guys,
Yep.
all of that. I talked to Alfred Collins today, who is 5th-year guy on that defensive line. So he's tasked with filling shoes of Tavondre Sweat, who we know well here, and Byron Murphy. I mean, can you imagine the pressure of that, of replacing production of those 2 guys?
Right.
So I think there's a lot of interesting storylines with Texas too. And, SEC Media Days, we had kind of talked about their schedule and we thought that it wasn't all that difficult
Right.
when you're looking at some of the other SEC teams, but there's some difficulty there towards the end of it once you dive in and really look.
Well, at Michigan
timing-wise.
early also.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, so they have Colorado State this weekend and then boom, Michigan.
Yeah.
So they'll be tested right out of the gate. But
The only difference for me with Texas and Georgia, when you're trying to figure out who maybe the best team is, I immediately look at schedule and Texas is no SEC schedule is easy, right? But they have the easiest, I would say. Georgia has to go to Ole Miss, Alabama, and Texas.
Yeah.
And Clemson. I don't think they'll have any problem with Clemson, honestly, but that is a neutral site game, theoretically.
Yeah, in the state of Georgia.
In Atlanta.
In Atlanta, yeah.
Where all the dog people hang out.
You know what,
is that really a neutral?
Right.
Oh, hell no.
I want to, you know what I would love for us to do this year throughout?
Well, but Texas doesn't have Alabama.
No.
They don't have Tennessee.
Nope. Nope, they don't.
What and the back half of their SEC is they get Florida at home. I think
Florida could be demolished
they
by
could
then.
be done by then.
Yeah.
You know, they're at Arkansas. They get Kentucky at home, and then of course that Texas A&M game. That's going to be a monster one.
So
right?
the Texas-Arkansas game will be fun from a historic perspective, but they're going to run them.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's why I look at, like, some of the guys in Vegas were talking about Texas's schedule. You know, I said last week it's fascinating to go to a different place and kind of get national people's takes on the Titans, on SEC and all of that. But, you know, they were kind of talking that Texas has a really difficult schedule. And I look at it and I didn't think it was super difficult, you know?
I don't either. Outside of the Georgia and, Oklahoma
Michigan,
a little bit. But you don't know who's going. You don't know what.
Georgia,
You don't know what they're going to be. We don't know what Michigan going to be for real.
Well, and
new coach at the helm.
Some of their tougher SEC ones are towards the end of the season, minus Georgia. You know, I don't know.
Rolling.
I mean, I don't think that they're going to run the table, but I'm not sure anybody's going to really run the table this year other than Georgia, right?
I think they will run the table.
You think Georgia will?
No, Texas.
You think Texas beats Georgia at home? Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, it's going to be fascinating to watch them in this first game. What did you say the point spread was?
36.5.
Right. That's a monster number, but then
it's the third highest of the weekend.
Right. And you think, oh, yeah, definitely take the under. But you have to remember, too, I am assuming at some point you're going to see backup players, right?
Right.
Well, their backup quarterback is Arch Manning,
That's
who has been patient and sat.
And will light it up.
And will certainly
Can't wait to
light it up. And Colorado State, I forget who they have next week, but the week after that, they have Colorado.
Yeah.
And you remember that debacle last year. Like,
nasty.
I mean, how do they face this game? How do they look at this game? You know, so while it's a monster number, I don't know I would just stay away from it. But
well, some of the FBS versus FCS lines don't come out till later in the week. But right now, it's the third highest line. Oklahoma is favored by 43 over Temple.
Ooh.
And Tennessee is favored by 38.5 over Chattanooga.
And listen, Colorado State has a quarterback and a wide receiver that were offered, hundreds of thousands of dollars in the portal to leave, NIL money to leave and go elsewhere. Like, their wide receiver, Cosell, has already gone through him because he's an NFL guy. So they have some talent over there. In Austin, though, at 3:30 in the middle of the day, that's going to be hot.
I thought it was 2:30.
Well, sorry, it's 2:30 Central Time. Yes. Sorry, 3:30 Eastern. Yes.
Quick note on Chattanooga. Blaine's kid, Chase Bishop, plays for Chattanooga.
Yes, he does.
Be looking for the defensive back for the Mocs wearing number 25, 5'10", 180. Great kid. So wish him well for sure. Titans cut so far. You got to get to You got to get to 53 by 3:00 tomorrow. So by the time we hit the air, everybody's got to be to 53. The Titans so far have trimmed 9 players. Linebacker JoJo Dorman waived injured. Wide receiver Trayshawn Harrison waived injured. Offensive tackle Brian Dooley. Defensive back Tay Gowan. Linebacker Michael Jones. Linebacker Thomas Rush. Wide receiver Sam Schnee. Tight end Steven Stilianos. Punter Ty Zentner have been let go. So Titans down to 81. Got to get to 53.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'll tell you, I'm keeping 4 tight ends. DMR, man.
Really?
David Martin Robinson.
Okay.
David Martin Robinson.
So are you keeping 3 quarterbacks?
2. I know
Slay.
Malik played well. I know he's better. But, like, Dawn and I were having this conversation in the casino. Probably the only people in the casino talking about Malik Willis. But we were talking about Malik Willis, and you made a great point. Like, if you get to the third quarterback, garbage fired anyway. So go get one. Go get one off the market.
Anyway.
Go get one off the market,
especially
and keep the roster spot. Yeah. Where are you on that one?
Slay's not with us.
I don't think so. I would
keep 3.
I would keep 3, but my third would be on the practice squad.
I would try
and if somebody go snatch him, then they go snatch him.
I would try that. I would try to put him on the practice squad. I don't think anybody will snatch him.
Right.
Honestly. So
I just think he's shown some flashes with development. Like, this is what you wanted to see, man.
He's developed.
He is taking the right steps. I'm I'm a bank. I would bank them, if that makes sense. Like, I ain't going to put them on the active right. I ain't going to put them in my wallet, but I'm going to put them in the bank.
So
I'm put them in the savings account.
What I'm saying is, in terms of the 53, you're not keeping 3 quarterbacks.
Right. Oh, in terms of 50.
Yeah, you try to practice squad him, and then,
Yeah, because you need depth at other places, especially with these guys dropping. You got to find some other linebacker. Like it, yeah. I'm not a big advocate of what is it, Vanette?
At tight end?
Yeah, I'm cool on him.
They really like him.
I see. They put him out there. Like they put him out. But give me. And now I don't know where Wiley is right now as far as his health, but Wiley, Chig, and David Martin Robinson get it done for me. And the only reason I say not keep him 4 is because
Nick Vanette.
Man, yeah, Vanette. I want to spread them out, man. Spread these guys out. I don't need 2 tight ends on the field every time. Give me one of them athletic ones that can, David Martin Robinson, that can blend in like a receiver.
Well, sometimes they put 2 tight end and 1 at the fullback. So maybe practice squad one of those guys.
Yeah.
Maybe do that.
I'm cool with that too.
I don't think you could DMR. I think he'd get picked up. He's put too much on tape.
Too much film. Too much sauce.
I agree with that.
All right.
By the way, for when we come back, Ian Rappaport just tweeted about the Broncos moving on from a very respected running back.
Okay, we'll talk about that. Also, the screen game found success. Why? We'll hear from the head coach next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Hey. Okay, now the season has arrived, and you probably want to be getting to these games. You want to be walking across the walking bridge to get over there to the VIP Titans tailgate just to see Big Slay and party with me. You don't need inflammation in your body, man. Get that out of the way. We don't need that hindering any of our partying that we're going to be doing for this college football season, this NFL football season. We got to be able to get in and get out of our tailgates without any pain. We don't need to be popping a leaf. How do you do it? Go to Kellum Stem Cell Institute. Let your body, your cells, your solution, all that be combined and get you the help that you need. We all know stem cells attack inflammation in the body. So why not go let your cells do that exactly? Your body's stem cells are stored and harvested. And for future and continued use, if you have an injury, they can go right back to them to the age that you got them extracted from. Doesn't get better than that, man. You need a consultation? You need it today. 615-850-4415. Give them a call. Talk to Dr. Kellum one-on-one, just like I did, and get healthy. Let's get right. KellumStemCellInstitute.com.
Why don't you get your outdoor landscape lighting healthy and right? That's right. Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville. That's who you need to call. Bob Lyons. The owner is the best, and they've been around for over 38 years, a family business since 1986. How about that? You know you can trust them. They've been making homes stunning with landscape lighting forever. Nashville's oldest landscape lighting company, still the leader in LED technology too. And Labor Day is right around the corner. So how about this? A Labor Day special from Bob and Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville. 6 months, same as cash for any current or new quotes for landscape lighting. That's good through Labor Day. So whether you need festival lights, path lights, wall washing, tree lighting, area lighting, maybe you just need maintenance on an old lighting system that Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville didn't install. They can help you with that. They do the design, the installation, the maintenance, all of it. They also do full service holiday and event lighting. They did my backyard. It's amazing. It is beautiful. They'll give you a free nighttime design demonstration. All you have to do, reach out to Bob and his team at outdoorlights.com/Nashville.
Good afternoon. It is 4:02 from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joseph Bonanno. We are 23 hours away from roster cut deadline as the Tennessee Titans have until 3 o'clock tomorrow on August 27th to get the roster down to 53 players for the initial roster. The first reported cuts by the Tennessee Titans are as follows. Wade from the roster: Brian Dooley, Tay Gowan, Michael Jones, Thomas Rush, Sam Schnee, Steven Stilianos, and punter Ty Zettner. Waived or injured is linebacker JoJo Doman and wide receiver Trayshawn Harrison. In other Titans news today, head coach Brian Callahan updated that linebacker Chance Campbell tore his ACL in the preseason win over the Saints and will be out for the remainder of the 2024 season. In NFL news, the big story today, Cowboys and star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb agreed on a massive 4-year, $136 million contract that makes him the second highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. The deal includes $100 million guaranteed and a $38 million signing bonus, the largest ever given to a wide receiver. In other NFL news, 49ers star left tackle Trent Williams will continue his holdouts until he gets a new contract from the team. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great Monday. You should be. I mean, we're all in football now. No question about it. I know Dawn Davenport is happy.
Yes.
She'll be in Austin, Texas on Friday.
Yes.
I want to get a report in live from you in Austin, Texas.
I'll call y'all Friday.
Yeah.
You could take your $1,000 boots down there.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
On the sideline.
I'm going to go
awesome.
visit Bevo.
Oh. Well, there's a lot of
in his home environment, which is
story?
top secret. Yes, we're gonna have some fun with Bevo.
Right, but I don't know if I'd wear $1,000 boots though, because where there's Bevo, there's got to be waste.
Well, yeah, but I mean, isn't that what cowboy boots are for?
That's what they're for, baby.
Yeah, maybe not $1,000 cowboy boots.
Just wash them off.
Hey, listen, they got to get its use somehow.
Bougie,
I might as well wear them for that.
Yeah, Bevo boop.
Did you know that Bevo
Bougie,
is a
Bevo,
top
boo-boo.
secret location?
Like where he is?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean,
Oklahoma do something to him?
like I don't know if they're gonna blindfold us to bring us there or
That'd
what.
be dope.
I mean, but there's no, because of threats from possibly maybe that other
Sooners?
Texas school. Nope.
Do y'all remember?
A&M.
Wow.
Y'all remember last year
I can
when
see
that
them
one
doing
school slaughtered a cow?
Yes.
Like a frat slaughtered a cow on their
Yes.
front lawn and just left it there?
Yes.
Holy
Do you
crap.
remember?
That's
It was
what?
it was
Yeah.
a huge ordeal.
Oh, like a bull.
Allegedly, it was already dead.
I don't
it
care
was
what
like
it was a dead
roadkill
bull
or
on there.
something. But regardless, it was very tasteless.
Yeah, it was bad.
Somebody did that to Texas? Oh, you don't know what the school
No,
is?
Yeah,
he
what?
doesn't remember what school it was.
I'll have to
No,
look.
no.
Oh,
It
no,
was-
okay. All right.
It was Texas.
I'm pretty sure it was Texas. I don't know what the other
Was it
school
Texas
was.
A&M?
I'd have to look at what the other school
That's
was.
nuts.
But
I
yeah,
can't remember. But yeah,
Wow.
it was a huge ordeal. Like law enforcement involved, PETA,
Yeah,
everybody.
you
can't be doing
No,
that.
you can't do that, man. And everybody need hamburgers.
Yeah, so they've got to protect Bevo, man.
Steaks and everything.
Gotta
It's like
keep
the
him
roadkill
secret.
law. Like, I mean,
No wasting, I want none, man.
You know he weighs 1,900 pounds.
Man.
That's a big mamma jamma.
With
What's
them
the
big old
best
horns.
mascot? Probably the buffalo, right? Colorado.
Ralphie?
Yeah,
Probably
Ralphie.
Smokey.
Well, Smokey's pretty good. I do love me some Smokey.
Snow.
Especially
Snooki.
on the cold games where
Snooki.
he's got his little
Little-
like
yeah, little
smoky
jacket.
blanket jacket
Yeah.
on. He's fun.
Either that or I was going. Who said Ralphie? You.
I did, yeah.
She-
Yeah, right.
Because
yeah.
Ralphie will
Ralphie's
kill
cool.
somebody, man.
Yeah.
Ralphie get wild. I want to say, do Bevo got the energy to get wild?
he gets wild a little bit.
all right, I found it.
You found
Ralphie
it.
was-
run. Bevo, I don't know. Bevo
Bevo-
run.
Ralphie-
Bevo's scary, man.
Yeah.
Ralphie runs and his little handlers, like sometimes they get in the air and just
Yeah.
fly with him.
I
Yeah.
like that. That's a wild thing.
Like, I'm surprised they still.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
Dude, I mean, does that
Right?
still happen?
That's
I don't
risk.
know.
Listen, if you can't flip a piece of
That's right.
if you can't flip a piece of shrimp at Benihana into Slay's mouth, I don't know how you're running around with Bevo and Ralphie.
Or Ralphie, yeah.
And
Ralphie will take somebody out, man.
Definitely.
He
What
don't
happened?
care.
What happened?
So it was right before, it was the week of the Oklahoma State Texas Big 12 title game.
That's what it was.
In Dallas. And an officer found a dead cow had been dead for less than 24 hours, dumped on the lawn of a fraternity, of a frat house, the farmhouse fraternity. And it had some explicitives carved into the cow's side.
Jeez.
It
was crazy.
It was
I remember.
bad.
Dude, that's going to a whole different
I
level.
just forgot
right
what
there.
other school it was.
Man, serial killers start with stuff like that.
Now they coming to the
It's
SEC.
true. It's true.
But it just means more.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So the screen game, incredible watching Titans offensive lineman in space. Like MPF mauled a guy like 20 yards down the field. Dylan Radins was getting down the field. Skoronski, like Cushenberry's pulling. And then the double team on the left side with Skoronski and J.C. Latham. Boy, there's some great tape out there. I get that New Orleans held out their pass rushers. I understand. But at this point, they're working on them, right? So they're about to see it for sure. Chicago's going to bring it. But
I like the future of what that left side's going to look like.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because, they'll take some lumps this year, but imagine next year. And
Brian
then the year
Callahan.
after that. I mean, because they talk about, it takes 3 years for
and you got
offensive linemen to get it in the NFL.
Right. And these guys are like Callahan's working with offensive linemen that were here for the most part, right? And so he's having to adapt his system to them. Whereas now moving forward, he's going to fill it with guys he thinks will play well in his system. But anyway, the screen game did look good. Brian Callahan, head coach of the Titans, talked about that.
First, the screens have been productive in the preseason in general. They were really good last night. That's really a big part of our offense. All those different types of screens. We have the action screens, we have screens to the Ys, screens to the back, screens to the receivers. The blocking in space is something that we work on, and the reason I called a lot of them is because we needed to work on them and teach off of them over the course of the preseason. And I would even say that for as good as they were, they could be a whole lot better. There's a lot of things technically we need to clean up that I thought we left some yards in the field and all of them really. So it's a huge part of, I think, a successful offense, especially when you marry those things up, like the screen to Nick Vannett, is off a counter action. So everybody sees and feels counter. Then it looks like a play action pass, and then the ball goes back to the tight end, and we're getting linemen out in space. And so as best we can marry those up in all of our run actions with all of our drop backs, and it's easy ways to get the ball in our players' hands. And I think that we got enough guys at the skill positions that can make hay when they got space. So it'll be a huge part of what we do, and we'll keep finding ways to be creative with the screens and keep finding ways to get those guys in space with people in front of them.
The offensive line sure had success in the screen game. Why, Coach Callie?
I think they're athletic, and so when you have athletic linemen, you can do a lot of things like that. The pulling is a part of it. Being able to get out in space and get attached to defenders in space is hard. They're definitely trying to attach themselves to players that are much more athletic than they are, and so there's a lot of technique that goes into it. But they're naturally athletic players as it is. I mean, Lloyd's really athletic, Peter's really athletic, and so is Dylan, and so those guys have the traits to do some more things for us offensively in the pulling game and the screen game and out in space, which has been good to see. You got to be able to do all those things up front, and I think their athleticism lends to success in that part of the game.
You feel like that was lacking the past few years?
For sure.
Yes.
Now, was it lacking because of lack of coaching, creativity? Was it lacking because of lack of talent and ability to be able to do that? Or was it a combination of both?
Maybe they had some athleticism in the offensive line, but they chose to try to just run into a wall.
Yeah.
And that's not the strength of some of these guys.
Beat.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why Radins hadn't seen the field, really.
Yeah.
Because he's more of an athletic guy that can do things in space and pull and all these things.
So it goes back to, outside of that, it goes back to coach. Bingo.
So he did name starters. And we all knew Radins, the right guard, MPF, the right tackle. At what point Did he know that the starting O-line was the starting O-line?
It had been trending that direction over the last week. Those guys had really started to separate themselves and play well. In practice, they did some nice things. You could see them gaining some confidence. And then this game was important to see if what we saw in practice was real, just in terms of their fundamentals, the technique, all the things that we were looking for. And then, they did what they were supposed to do in that game, and that sort of finalized it for me at that point. But they've done a nice job. And look, we haven't seen the types of guys that they're going to see. I know what's headed our way. We got some hellacious defensive fronts we got to face, and we have challenges ahead. And but I think that those 5 guys have solidified themselves as our offensive line, and they've gotten remarkably better every time we've went out there. So, again, so far so good. Happy where we're at. Long way to go still, but those guys have done a nice job.
Obviously cautiously optimistic, but maybe OLJ's OLJ.
Could be.
You had a Ian Rappaport with a tweet and a story out of Denver.
I'm just curious. I just want to get y'all's take. How about I read the tweet and we talk about it when we come back? Do we have anything? Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just,
Give it to us, Babs.
Executive decision, Babs.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, you knew
That's Joe
exactly
Pesci
what I was
and
doing.
Lethal Weapon 2. They F you in the drive-thru.
Yep, that's it. Okay, Broncos. This is from Rap Sheet about 30 minutes ago. Broncos are expected to move on from respected 8-year veteran running back Samaje Perine, sources say. The team is engaged in a number of trade conversations around Perine, and it could be a trade rather than a release. A numbers crunch in the running backs room, so he is available in a trade. Zeph, how many years did he spend with Callahan and Cincy?
3 years, from 2020 to 2022.
How old is he right now?
He is 28 years old.
How did he do when he was in Cincy?
In 3 years at Cincy, he had yards of 301, 246, and 394. That 394 coming in 2022. Touchdowns of 3, 1, and 2.
So here's the question. Do you make a move for Perine and make him the third running back, or are you good with Chestnut and or Haskins? 615-737-1045. Also, we'll give our analysis and want yours of what you saw and what we saw as the Titans took down the Saints 30-27. 30 points on the scoreboard. That was amazing in any situation against air for the Titans historically. More 3HL next. 1045 The Zone.
Yes, nothing worse than getting up in the morning and your power went out throughout the night, and you got to start resetting clocks and things of that nature. You wouldn't have to do that if you had Cove generators. You got to just hit Generator Dave up and get you a Generac automatic standby generator, and it will click on immediately. Probably 2 seconds at the most, but you'll never lose power again because it's always there, always running, always going to get maintenance done to it. Cause Cove Generators does so, and they even got a special for you.
Yes, $500 off. You got 5 more days to get this special. That's it. Then it's gone. Yeah. Poof, gone. $500 off. Call Generator Dave. Mention that you heard about them right here on The Zone from Dawn and Slay, and they will give you $500 off so you can get yourself a Generac automatic standby generator and make sure that your family never loses power again and stays safe. Financing is also available from them, and they monitor your generator so that whether weather's coming, anything, they take care of you.
Don't forget, it's college football season and NFL. It's football season, period. They do have portable generators, too, for people traveling doing tailgates.
Oh, that's right. And think about that. Mm-hmm. Give them a call, 931-559-3311. That's Cove, C-O-V-E, generators.com.
Stay connected through it all.
Get that yard looking great. Diggins Turf and Landscape Supply can help you out. Check them out online, digginsupply.com. You're going to have pockets of these weather windows where the humidity's down and the temperatures are down like the next couple days, and it's going to pop back up and be hot. So a lot of y'all don't know what to do with your lawn in those situations. Trey Hartsook sure does, and his guys at Diggins Turf and Landscape Supply do as well. Trey, what's up?
Hey, Brett, what's up, man? Hey, I'll tell you what, here in the Middle Tennessee area, we can get a little bit of all of it. It can be a real nice, mild day, or it can be 100 degrees. But at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, we have the custom blended fertilizers just for you that can keep that lawn looking good throughout the year. Because as we know, in the spring and in the fall, it's really not too hard because temperatures are great, rainfall is good. But in the summer is the true measurement of how good your lawn really is. If you can keep it green 12 months out of the year, then you're doing something right. At Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, we can help you with that, and we love to do that. Now is a great time, Brent. If you're thinking about in the fall, like, hey, I need to overseed, or hey, I'd like to get started on a turf program, now is a good time to come on in to Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, talk to our turf experts that we have at every single location that can get you the product you need to have that lawn looking as good as possible. On the way out, real quick, Brent, I will say, what we're doing right now, this late summer deal at Diggins Turf and Landscape Supply, we have some units that we've been sitting on since the spring, and we're really getting motivated to push those things out because there's a lot of different things coming from the Toro side of things in the spring of 25. So if you don't have a mower, maybe you have an old mower, maybe you want to upgrade, now is a great time to stop in and talk to us. Get a great deal, especially if you pay cash. We can take care of you a little more. Or if you want to finance, we have those options as well. Stop in and see us. Conveniently located all over Middle Tennessee. Got locations in Nashville, Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Bellevue, Brentwood, Lamar, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. If you can't get a hold of us, check us out online, DickinsSupply.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. There is breaking news.
Yes, there is, involving a Titans quarterback.
Who had this story? Schefter? Let's do it again, Zeph, so I don't talk over it, just for posterity and prosperity. From Adam Schefter, the Tennessee Titans are sending quarterback Malik Willis to the Green Bay Packers for a 2025 seventh-round pick. He will likely back up Jordan Love.
Good for Malik. He put enough on tape to warrant a trade. And that also tells you that they weren't keeping him anyway.
Exactly that. Yes.
Yep.
So, all the Malik talk over the last couple of years.
I'm not going to lie. Thank goodness.
You had Malik Lash.
Malik Lash. I did. Now, he has gotten better. And to his credit, because of what he put on film, that is why he's now headed to the Packers in a backup role, right?
Right.
The Titans just...
He earned that.
He earned it. So good for him. I had him cut anyway.
Right, and that's what was going to happen.
Which is exactly what
fourth quarter got him this opportunity.
Yep.
I think. I mean... And you know, I mean, there have been people around the league that have been at training camp and things like that, so word starts to spread. But he is definitely better.
Yes.
He has been working hard, clearly, on his game. And,
I still don't think he's a number 2 in the league.
But the Titans get a draft pick for him. They were going to cut him anyway.
Win-win.
Or at least try to practice squad him.
Nick said, I can't believe we got something for him. I don't disagree on that. They could have waited and he would have been cut.
615-737-1045. That is the news that is out there. You were talking about P. Ryan. So P. Ryan will the running back in Denver had success in Cincinnati with Callahan as the offense coordinator. Pretty good player, you know. Not I mean
older, but you're also talking about shoring up your number 3 running back spot
with a guy who knows the system. So do you bring in P. Ryan? Give them that 7th round pick that you just got. Bring in P. Ryan. So ultimately, you traded Malik Willis for P. Ryan, your number 3 running back, and then you move on from Chestnut. And then decide on Haskins. Because Haskins is only making this team if his value as a special teamer is enough to keep him on this team.
Which I feel like it's enough to have the conversation. His value on special teams is enough for us to be having this conversation. Right?
Yes. Slay Dog had to run down the hall. When he gets back, I can't wait to tell him about Malik Willis being traded.
Mm-hmm.
There he is. Hey, dog.
What up?
Hey, our Malik conversation is over.
To the Packers?
For a 7th rounder.
It's over.
Guess what?
Good for him, though. He earned that.
No, hell yeah. You put enough stuff on... Hell yeah. You put enough stuff on tape. That's what can happen, man. So
the other side of that is the Titans get something for him.
Would they get a 7th rounder?
7th round pick.
Stockpiling draft picks, man.
I mean, it was either that or a bag of footballs.
Although, when do the Titans play the Packers?
I mean, week 2, home opener. Here comes Malik.
He ain't got to go far.
What if Jordan Love gets hurt, Malik Willis comes in and beats the Titans in Nashville?
Oh.
Well, I guarantee you, regardless, he's going to be their scout quarterback.
Without question.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to know everything.
Knows the offense, knows the system.
See, that's tomfoolery right there.
Tomfoolery. I used to know
Is that worth a 7th round pick, though? Sure. You still got to stop it.
It's a game. Yeah.
Well, if they needed a backup quarterback whose game is somewhat similar to Jordan Love's, then yeah, it makes sense. And he was on the Titans, who you play in week 2. Might as well.
So in 2025, before this trade, they only had 6 picks. 1 in each round, minus a 3rd rounder that they traded for L'Jarius Sneed. This gives them a 7th pick and another late round pick, which Rand Carthon seems to use a lot, whether it's in trade or drafting
to package
players.
Some things,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they know what they do. One thing I'm not doing, I'm not questioning management. Chad Brinker, Rand Carthon, what's I got? Burke Hill, like all of them. Y'all got it, man. Y'all got enough equity built up. Y'all can do what you do.
What was Malik, a 3rd round? He was a 3rd rounder,
Third
right?
round pick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Remember, that's a different regime.
Totally different.
That's a J-Rob special.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Some people had him going into first. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like mocking him?
Mm-hmm. That's what they were doing, mocking him. That's the problem. But I want to see what happens with our guy next, Caleb Farley.
You think Will Levis gives him a bottle of cologne as like a parting gift?
Nah.
Like, hey, man, take this to Green Bay.
Malik probably out there, bro.
Zeph just said, is Levis going to change his number back? I was like, no, he's got
back?
Cologne.
Nah, yeah, he will number 8.
He is solid 8 now.
Yeah, you got to roll with that.
8 ball.
MJG.
I mean,
Billy
there's a
Jeans.
website for the Cologne.
League will have to make him pay for all those jerseys he sold.
Mm-hmm. See, you don't.
Billy Jeans is messed up and got the 8 ball rolling.
Is that a?
Come on, man.
Easy. I'm with you.
Yeah, he's right. Easy. Brian Callahan, speaking of late round pick success, I mean, undrafted free agent success. And they've talked about this. Like, if you can, Rand talked about it during the broadcast. If you can find undrafted free agents that can make the team, that is a huge differentiator because that's a player that makes the team that wasn't a draft pick.
Yeah.
So they turn out to be a draft pick that you didn't have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. They developed them into and put enough on tape to go get a draft pick for them.
Brian Callahan talked about the importance of late round draft picks and undrafted free agents.
Yeah, anytime you got undrafted guys that can come earn a spot, that's a huge benefit. You know, that and your late round picks. You know, your 5th, 6th, 7th round picks. If you can get contributions from those guys, that's huge for the depth of your roster, for the cost of your team. I mean, there's a lot of benefits to being able to hit those picks, and I think this year we've done a pretty nice job. I mean, we're looking at pretty significant contributions, I think, from all the guys in that draft class at this point. And then obviously we got some UDFAs that have made their mark as well. So that's how you build a team. That's how you build depth, and that's how you find players, is the work you do in those later rounds. And I think our scouts have done a great job in that process. Really, they're the ones that find those guys, and we got to keep doing that. That's how you keep building your team and keep building your depth, is hitting on those, day 3 picks, essentially, that 4th through 7th round and your CFAs. So successful teams hitting those spots, and we need to keep doing it.
One guy that there have been several.
That's what's missing on this team right now.
Yeah. Bryce Oliver, undrafted guy. Y'all have seen him make plays. If you haven't been to practice, or if you have been to practice, you've seen him make plays at practice too. Like, he's been very active as an undrafted free agent. Brian Callahan talked about Bryce Oliver.
Yeah, he's another one of those guys that's shown well for himself. He's got some size, and he can run. He's got some legitimate speed. You see it on the field. He probably is faster than he looks, if that makes sense. He covers a lot of ground, and he does it pretty quickly. And sometimes he's a smooth runner, so you don't feel it the same way you feel some guys. But he chews up a cushion on DB, and he chews up ground, and he can really run. The thing that I think is the most impressive is he's got really, really strong hands. And some of those catches he made are, that's impressive to see. So, again, he's another guy that's come a long way since he got here in the OTAs and really started to settle in. And you start to see, once these guys know what to do, their talent starts to come out a little bit. And he's one of those guys that's really, had a nice preseason for himself.
Kind of reminds me of NWI when I watch him run routes and stuff.
Like, solid, consistent, going to be where he's supposed to be.
Chews up yards, like kind of like Callie said, like he moves faster than he looks like he's moving, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
By the way, God, just the transparency. I know we talk about it, but it's so nice.
Amazing.
I mean, to sit here and say, what's really impressive is how strong his hands are.
Right.
You didn't have to tell us that.
No, thank you for the details.
It's
Thank
refreshing.
you. Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Although I did feel like he was almost a little sad talking about the great things that Bryce Oliver's done.
Well, I mean, he's a practice squad guy. He's not a 53 guy.
I'm going to get him.
But you might go get him.
I'm going to get him.
Another guy that's been impressive, David Martin Robinson. You want to hear what Brian Callahan has to say about him?
This is another one.
Here you go.
Yeah, it was. It was a surprise. I mean, when we first brought him in the rookie mini camp, I was like, this guy seems like he moves pretty well for as big as he is, and just kind of caught your eye. I mean, again, it's just moving around in shorts, and so that part was cool to see to start. And then he's really, ascended. Like, every chance he's gotten better. Every chance to make a play, he's made it. he's the poster child for what it takes to make a team as a UDFA, and he's been fantastic. I mean, there's no discounting his skill set's real. He's physical in the run game. Surprise is the word, but as we've watched, the more I've watched him and gotten to know him, though, I shouldn't be surprised because that's his mindset. He's mature. He's professional. It's important to him. He takes coaching. He makes improvements quickly. Those things are all traits that would lead guys to be able to to show well and have a chance. So, like I said before, I think Justin Outen's done a fantastic job with that room from top to bottom. Those guys have really matured and as tight ends and really played well over the course of camp. So a little tip of my cap to J.O. and the job that he's done as well. But that was a room that went from a lot of questions to one that we feel is now all of a sudden pretty deep and pretty strong and been pretty competitive. So that's a good thing.
615-737-1045, 615-737-1045. I think David Martin Robinson makes the 53.
I think so, too.
I would definitely be on mine.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? Find one of your 53 undrafted free agent. I mean, it happens all the time in this league, but that's how you got to build the core.
Opportunity.
615-737-1045. Again, the big news, Titans send Malik Willis to the Green Bay Packers for a 2025 7th-round pick. Keith in Nashville next up on 3HL. Keith, what's up?
He just wasted a 3rd-round pick.
I mean, from then, yeah. I mean, but what do you do now? Because they were going to try to practice squad him and release him. They weren't going to get anything.
I wouldn't have drafted him, but after I drafted him.
Right, but these guys can't make that decision. They can't go backwards.
I don't think Rand Carthon would have drafted him either. Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I get it.
I'd have been forced to keep him if I'm, now.
Oh, Keith, come on, man. You can't keep him out of spite.
Okay, well, give me higher than 7th round then.
He's not worth it.
That's the problem.
You can only take what you can get.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I can't believe they got a 7th rounder.
They got a 7th rounder for him. They were gonna release him.
When everybody knows what your hands are gonna show, then everybody just say hands off. We ain't gonna do anything, and they let him go to the practice squad. Then somebody else will go pick him up for free. So I mean, you lose.
He's what do you call it? He's ungradable because they haven't run RPO with him, so you can't grade him.
Right.
Yeah, they probably will never run it either, though. That's the thing.
They won't.
So,
they run their offense the way they run it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Keith. Appreciate it. Keith has been on Malik Willis forever.
Oh, no, that's cool.
And I respect that.
Yeah, no doubt. But the
business part of what just happened is what just happened. Like, I bet they are shocked they got a 7th-round pick for him.
I'm shocked.
I am, too.
Me, too. If you running from, I thought you needed one more year development to see what you was going to see.
I think Green Bay did it.
The flashes were great, though.
Because they're able to give a 7th-round pick to get to the front of the waiver wire, basically. You know what I mean?
Who's Green Bay's backup quarterback behind Jordan Love prior to Malik Willis?
Sean Clifford and Michael Pratt.
Who?
Yeah.
Sean Clifford
Pratt's
from
Tulane rookie.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
He's legit, but you're going to have a rookie.
Still asking who?
Yeah.
So on their depth chart on the Green Bay Packers website, Sean Clifford is currently the number 2.
Yeah.
And I pulled his preseason stats from the 3 games this year. And in 3 games, he was 10 of 19 for 111 yards, 0 and 0. 6 of 10 for 43 yards, 0 and 1 interception. 6 of 14 for 53 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions.
Well, here we go. That's how the league goes.
I'm trying to pull it up. My computer's slow. Yeah, Sean Clifford out of Penn State, 6'2", 218. He's 26 years old.
I remember.
Yeah, he hasn't done much. He has played in 2 games.
As a wasted 3rd-round draft pick. Yeah, it was. But what do you...
But this organization can't go
This is how
backward.
you screw your organization moving forward is when you hold on to those picks that didn't work out.
Yeah, and you can't get nothing from them.
Right.
Like this is like as much as I hate it. I mean, at some point we may be right there with the same thing with Caleb Farley. Maybe it's the same thing.
How great was it to see him get out there?
Man, and blast that dude.
He blasted that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, take that. I wish, man, we had more time with him. But the other guy, what's that guy? Big Panda. Like you can go through each draft pick.
Isaiah
Wilson. Like there's plenty of picks that you wouldn't have made, in hindsight, but hindsight gets you fired. Potential will get you fired.
What was his rap name? Because Big Panda was actually a great nickname.
BB Bowser, Gigi Bowser.
Gigi Bowser.
Gigi Bowser.
I'm like, he should have gone Panda.
Yeah, that would have been much better for him.
What do you think Isaiah Wilson's doing right now?
No, I hope he's not.
Taking a nap. What time?
Right.
4? Something?
I don't know.
Probably sleep.
Big Jeff tweeted.
Taking a nap.
Quote tweeted the NFL trade via Rap Sheet and said, "Hate to see you go, my brother. Packers got a good one, man, on the field and off."
Yeah, he's a good dude. Really good dude. And, celebrate the work ethic. I'm telling you, he's better for sure. 615-737-1045. Why did you just point at Zeph?
Oh, because he said, go look at Big Jeff's Twitter.
Oh, you were giving him props.
Yeah.
I thought you were calling for, the cut man or whatever.
No.
Cut master.
I was saying thanks for the heads up.
All right, we need to take a break. More of your reaction. Tons of y'all are watching on YouTube. We appreciate that. The chat is busy, that's for sure. A lot of people are now wanting to trade Traylon Burks for some reason. I don't know how that worked itself in there, but
do you think they're just poking
posts.
The bear that's
Maybe.
sitting to my right?
I know what John L's doing. He says, keep Bryce Oliver, cut Burks.
Yeah, he wants some attention.
Oh, he's just poking. He's poking that big bear to my right.
All right, we have 2 lines open. Your reaction to the game. Titans go undefeated in the preseason, beat the Saints 30-27. What is your analysis of what you saw? Maybe you have some roster advice as we are ahead of cut day. And we'll go from there. 615-737-1045.
Love breaking news. Boom. You know what else I love? Two Rivers Ford. You guys know I love them and love my Ford F-150 I got from them. So I decided that I want to drive a Bronco. So I'm going to drive a Bronco starting tomorrow just to check it out. I mean, they're all over the road. You see them everywhere. There's so many options, all these different color combinations, lots of packages, trim levels. And so Two Rivers Ford is inviting everybody to get to know the Ford Bronco. Whether you're in the market for a car or not, doesn't matter. Two Rivers Ford has this entire team of Bronco experts to introduce you to the Bronco, answer your questions, let you test drive, show you all the capabilities that it has, the technologies, the accessories. And of course, you know that sales team at Two Rivers Ford doesn't work on commission. They're just there to help you, educate you, and introduce you to this really cool vehicle that maybe you don't know a lot about. That is, of course, one of the reasons people love doing business with Two Rivers Ford. It's why I love Two Rivers Ford. They are the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Go see them in Mount Juliet, 7 miles east of the airport. Get to know the Ford Bronco. Two Rivers Ford is your Ford Bronco headquarters.
What's happening, people? Now, if you're feeling a little tired, lacking motivation and drive, fellas, I'm talking to you, so your ears perked up for a reason. You need to get over to Low T Center. Get all of your vitals checked, man. They take care of everything. Doesn't take anything but 25 minutes to get your results back. Simple blood test. Knock it out. Boom, bam, bip. It's over with. Your BMI and health can also be evaluated for treatment. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment today. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you. The big story of the day, the Tennessee Titans have sent quarterback Malik Willis to the Green Bay Packers for a 2025 7th-round pick. He will back up Jordan Love there, likely. Get your reaction, 615-737-1045 at 3HL 104.5 on Twitter. Football season is here.
It's on. It is on.
What about, we haven't mentioned this yet, and then we'll go back to the phones, but this needs some attention. T. Sweat threw some dominant reps out there.
Yes, indeed.
Him with Big Jeff is going to be a problem.
Starting to see what impact looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to get that out
slow
there.
down. Yeah, once again, slow down for him. Mm-hmm. Start to see some things.
He stuffed 2 running plays and then forced an incompletion.
Yes. Big fella. Can move.
615-737-1045. Philip in Nashville next up. Philip, what's up?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good, Philip.
Great,
thank you.
Hey, first of all, I want to say those words from Jeff Simmons on Malik. I mean, that's awesome leadership, but that's not why I'm calling.
All right.
Why are you calling?
Okay, so I watched through the week and during preseason, I read Jim Wyatt's updates on how camp is going, media days, all that. So leading up to the New Orleans week, the offense was seemed like they were struggling, seemed like the line was kind of struggling, seemed like Levis was missing a lot over the top, trying to make adjustments there. And then you see the first couple series against New Orleans, and if I was judging off of those first couple series of New Orleans on how our season's going to be, which is what any fan would probably do, I would say that maybe come beginning of January, that Houston game might be a real important game. What do you guys think?
It's hard to take too much out of the preseason. Taylor LeWant sat in here, and we asked him how much fans should take out of the preseason. He said absolutely nothing. And he pointed out that, in preseason games, we're working on specific things that nothing about in terms of what we're doing. And so sometimes we could get beat on a play that in a normal regular season game we wouldn't. But we happen to be working on something else, and that didn't, lend itself well to that particular matchup. I think it is worth noting, however, that it's very obvious to kind of see what this offense is going to look like, and that Will Levis has route tree possibilities on every level, and the screen game was good. I mean, you can kind of...
They showed a lot more offensively, I felt like, with the ones out there this game than we've seen. Now, that being said, Phillip, they still were not playing against New Orleans number ones. Right. And I'm not taking away with what this offense can be, but I'm also just pointing that out. Like, if I was Coach Mack, I'd be like, Phil, keep your powder dry now. It still is just a preseason game, So that's my thought. I
agree,
on it.
but when you see those big boys moving on the offensive line, even on the defense, like you guys just brought up Sweat. I mean, him plugging, 45 different gaps at one time, you're like, geez, we could be something this year.
Thank you, Phil. Appreciate it.
Well, and
cautiously optimistic, I guess. How
cautiously optimistic.
I mean,
here's the deal: they have 1 or 2 key injuries, and they're done because this Titans team has no depth.
Yep, you can really see it on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
It's a problem. It's a huge problem, and it's not a Rand Carthon. I mean, it is a Rand Carthon Callahan problem now, but it's a product of poor drafts.
It's an inherited problem.
Yes, poor draft
and
after poor draft
construction.
and poor roster construction. Yes.
Yeah, I think from an injury perspective, I think the defense is fragile too. Like you can't go losing people on defense. It'll be very noticeable very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
615-737-1045. Cody in Lebanon. Cody, what's up?
Hey, guys. I know it's been a while since you guys were talking about Texas. I get behind on YouTube.
No, that's fine.
And I wanted to touch on Matthew Golden and Silas Bolden, your local Texas fan. Neither one of those guys are really projected to start, but Stark did say that he's going to go to a much larger rotation of wide receivers this year.
Yeah.
Jonte Cook's the 5-star is projected to start over Golden, and then DeAndre Moore, the highly coveted 4-star, is projected to start over Bolden. But it'll be interesting to see if they use Bolden as like a fill-in for like Thielen Robinson last year, since their running back depth is taking such a big hit.
Yeah. No, I just pointed out those three because they were transfers. Like that, so Isaiah.
Yeah, his conversation was talking about the newcomers too.
Right.
Just talking about the newcomers in that wide receiver core.
That's the thing about Texas that Slay and I are going to have to watch their lines because of what you said. Like when they get up, they've still got Arch Manning that's going to come out there and light it up.
You can't pull off the gas. That's not the way to play.
Yeah. No, it's going to be interesting on that front. Like obviously Texas fans know, just like Tennessee fans know the 5th and 6th and whoever's down the depth chart wide receiver wise, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do offensively, especially with those wide receivers. Although I will say a lot of eyes on that offensive line this year, and they're legit. It took Sark, probably 3-4 years to get his trenches ready for SEC play. And I remember working that very first spring game with him, 4 years ago, and because this is his 5th year. And I remember he said then, and this is way before the news came out, he was like, yeah, I'm getting my roster ready for the SEC.
Right.
And what he meant was, I'm getting my trenches, my offensive and defensive lines ready for the SEC.
That's right.
Because it's just different. I mean, it's
different, but I feel like they are there now.
Yeah. I think
at
they
least
are.
on that offensive line, they're there. I mean, there's over 110 starts on that offensive line, up and down that offensive line. I mean, it's a bunch of old guys. Old guys with experience who get it.
We need them. And it's the
and that's
break
gonna
in
help
the
Quinn.
season. Yeah, no question. You got to have that beef up front.
Regardless of who his receivers are, but.
Agreed.
I think they're way more ready than Oklahoma is. And so from an Oklahoma perspective, we're going to check out Jackson Arnold at quarterback, right? Was a 5-star prospect. Only attempted 24 passes in his freshman season until the bowl game. He started the bowl game. 26.
Did we have him on media days?
I saw him. I don't remember if we had him on.
I think
who's that?
Jackson
Jackson Arnold, the quarterback.
I can't remember.
26 of 45 in the bowl game, 361 through the air, 2 touchdowns. He did throw 3 picks, and they lost. So, I mean, that's we'll see. We won't see much against Temple. We'll see Jackson Arnold light Temple up. They're a 43-point favorite. But year 3 for Brent Venables, 6-7, then 10-3, and then moves to the SEC.
Dang,
we'll see.
that's a heck of a line.
I love football season where we can go all over the place. College football to the NFL to the SEC to anything. 615-737-1045. Malik Willis traded to the Packers. We'll talk about it. 5 o'clock hour coming up next on 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, people? Now, if you're feeling a little tired, lacking motivation and drive, fellas, I'm talking to you, so your ears perked up for a reason. You need to get over to Low T Center. Get all of your vitals checked, man. They take care of everything. Doesn't take anything but 25 minutes to get your results back. Simple blood test. Knock it out. Boom, bam, bip. It's over with. Your BMI and health can also be evaluated for treatment. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment today. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Good evening. It is 5:01. I'm Joseph Bonanno from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Breaking Titans news just a few minutes ago. The Tennessee Titans are trading quarterback Malik Willis to the Green Bay Packers for a 2025 7th-round pick. Willis was a 3rd-round pick back in 2022 and now heads up north to back up quarterback Jordan Love. We are one day away from roster cut date as the Titans have until 3 o'clock Central Time tomorrow to get the roster down to 53 players for their initial roster. First reported cuts by the Titans are as follows. Waived from the roster: Brian Dooley, Tay Gowan, Michael Jones, Thomas Rush, Sam Schnee, Steven Stilianos, and Ty Zettner. Waived from injuries is JoJo Domann and Trayshawn Harrison. In NFL news, the big story today: Cowboys and star wide receiver C.D. Lamb agreeing on a massive 4-year, $136 million contract that makes him the 2nd highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. The deal includes a $100 million guaranteed and a record $38 million signing bonus that is the largest ever given to a wide receiver in the NFL. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville 3HL is on the air. Monday edition. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. We've got all kinds of football activity coming up this week, and we are in love with that. Don Davenport is here.
What up? Let's go. Happy Monday, people.
You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
F&M Bank Chat is open. It's been a very active day in there. Been a very active day for the Tennessee Titans, as they have waived the following players. They've got to be to 53 by 3 o'clock tomorrow. 9 are gone. Trayshawn Harrison and JoJo Domann, wide receiver and linebacker, waived due to injury. Punter Ty Zettner, tight end Steven Stilianos, wide receiver Sam Schnee, linebacker Thomas Rush, linebacker Michael Jones, cornerback Tay Gowan, tackle Brian Dooley. So they are down to 81. Got to get to 53 by 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Got to get to it. Got to get some names down, man.
And it's unfortunate because even if you make the 53, if you're on the back end of the 53, if some player pops up that they want, they will release you and go get that player.
Yeah, that's part of the business, man. Hate for it, but make the most of your time and your opportunity. That's all you can do.
That is, it's funny that Brian Callahan earlier today said Malik Willis put some great stuff on tape.
And he actually did.
He did. And then they trade him to the Green Bay Packers for a 7th-round pick.
Yeah, he's like, he put enough on tape for us to get something for him.
Yep. That's more than a bag of footballs. Now, in all seriousness, props to Malik Willis, who really worked hard on his game, got a lot better, and put himself in position for an opportunity to maybe be A2 at Green Bay.
And great job with this coaching staff coming in and, highlighting his strengths, giving him the opportunity, like coaching him up. Him putting in the work in the offseason for sure individually, but this coaching staff, I thought, gave him a great opportunity, so salute to them. You got to have that, man. Coaching is a huge part of it.
It is.
Linebacker is nothing. It was
Chance.
Untapped.
And Malik's got a quarterback's coach that works with him all the time in the offseason. They all do, but that guy's always tweeting stuff and the things they were doing. Linebacker Chance Campbell tore his ACL.
That's tough, man.
He's done for the year.
Dang.
Feel for him.
That was what held him back, 2 years ago? A year ago? 2 years ago?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it's knee injury then, too.
I know he was flying around the football field this preseason. In camp and practice and in the games everywhere.
Him and Otis Reese.
I also know that he knew it the minute it happened. You saw it on his face.
Yep. No doubt about
sad.
it. That's a tough one, man. Tough pill.
I'll get to Otis Reese in just a second. Let the head coach update his situation. Linebacker Cedric Gray dealing with a nerve-related issue with his shoulder. No return timetable. That's tough because you just don't know on that deal. Speaking of that, Brian Callahan with an injury update. Otis Reese, Luke Gifford, and Cedric Gray.
Yeah, those guys are both in the protocol, so we should hopefully get them back this week. As is kind of tentative.
That's Reese and Gifford.
We don't have much to do with that. It's more they got to get cleared independently. So, but those guys are both should be cleared next week and should be good to go.
And how about Cedric Gray?
Cedric's still dealing with the same thing he's had. It's a shoulder, but it's nerve related, so it's more of a When does it come back, and how does it feel? So, no real timeline on him at this point. Unsure is the best way to put it.
That's tough.
You hate to hear that. You hate to hear the nerve-related.
Oh, yeah, man.
Because, you just...
Especially as a young player.
How do you deal with it?
Right. And so when does he come back? Even if he comes back, let's say, I don't know, hypothetically, like week 3, how long does it take him to get acclimated to going from the college to the pro game, but also learning the defense and also getting back from injury?
Yeah, the speed.
Well, he also wasn't up to date prior to the injury.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
this is good. He wasn't up to speed prior to it.
There you go. So it's going to take a while on him, at the very least. 615-737-1045 if you want. And a lot of people talking about Malik Willis. Let's go to Jake in Brentwood. It's been a minute, Jake. What are you doing, man?
What up, Jake?
What's up, my guys? What's up? Can y'all believe this 3-0 preseason? Woohoo!
First undefeated preseason since 2003, for whatever that's worth.
Pop the champagne.
It's not worth it. It's not worth a dime.
Can you hang a banner for that?
Can we?
I'm sure somewhere.
Let's elevate it. Let's elevate it. Hey, to Malik, I mean, best wishes, my man. No joke. I mean, I thought you did your best you could. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I really think can I say this? I really think under this offense, he could prosper.
With Green Bay or with Titans?
No.
Oh,
yes, I really think because he was never given opportunity with any kind of offensive line. He was never given much of an opportunity with anything else besides handing the ball to D. Henry, which is a great thing.
Right.
But I mean, I just think I don't know. I think he could have been I think he could have prospered under this offense.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all think?
I mean, he was doing better.
I don't know, but I just think he ran out of time.
That was the thing.
People in that world told me Mason Rudolph is the number 2, and it's not close. That's what I was told. Now, this coaching staff has made you believe that they were going to take it down to the wire and didn't name a number 2 until they traded one of them to Green Bay. So we'll see.
Yeah, I just think coming into the league, man, you saw what it was. You knew what it was in college. It was one read. If it ain't there, take off because you're trying to win games. And after that happened, you come into the league, it was going to have to be about development. Now, you kind of walked into a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. When you have the prospect and a guy like Derrick Henry behind you, just give him the ball because that is first and foremost and second on the play sheet. Then the third time, everybody knows you have to pass. So for a guy that's not been developed like that, it was a tough spot to be put in, man. That's why we said, man, 2 years, and then let's see where he is. So kudos to him, man, getting the opportunity.
I don't disagree with anything you said, Slay. I don't. I would say Jalen Hurts would be the same thing. Alabama, it was like one read and he ran. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But he was given a different philosophy with Philadelphia, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying anything is bad with Malik.
Right.
I'm just saying everybody has been given their opportunity with different, situations. And anyways, it is what it is. But the kid may be surprising. He may not. But he may surprise us.
Yep.
Thank you, Jake. Good to hear from you, brother.
All
right, see you guys.
Yes, sir.
615-737-1045.
Yeah, it's a lot of people, man, that have 10+ year careers as a backup, too. I mean, like
Clipboard Jesus.
Yeah, ain't nothing.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
What about Josh Dobbs?
Yeah, exactly. I tell you what, when that pension come in, it all hit the same. Hold on, young fella. You got it, baby. Keep pushing. I mean, everybody can't be a starter.
Who was Don's guy? We got a message the other day that he had played well.
What did we just see him?
Logan Woodside.
Logan Woodside.
We just
he
saw
struggled
him.
in the preseason.
He was in the casino.
What?
We was in the casino.
You saw him in the casino?
No, we was on TV.
Oh, you saw him on TV. Yeah, he just played for.
That was Babs' backup quarterback crush.
Yeah, he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Atlanta, and then he got cut there. Where's he now?
Yeah, is he?
Oh, we watched him play.
Is it Cincy?
It's Cincy.
Yes,
It's
Cincy.
Cincy.
Yeah, he's Joe Burrow's backup.
That's right.
Yeah, I knew we was,
Bengals,
just talking about this in the casino.
I'm like, we literally just sat there and watched him play poorly.
Play poorly.
615-737-1045. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
When we come back, Charles Davis with some, we'll take more of your phone calls, your reaction to what you saw in the Saints, what you've seen in the preseason, maybe your guess on who should make the 53 and who shouldn't. All those things. Malik Willis getting traded to the Green Bay Packers, the big story of the afternoon. You may want to comment on that, but I also have this. Charles Davis with some blasphemy, some slayphemy.
What?
During the broadcast.
Not Charles Davis.
That's next. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle, whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, or Jeep, new or pre-owned. These are your guys. Whatever you're looking for, maybe you need more room, maybe you need better gas mileage, maybe you need I don't know, get a better payment. Whatever your needs are, let my guys at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep know, and they will be able to help you out. They'll point you in the right direction, get you in that test drive. You'll go inside. They will help make the numbers work, and it will be that easy. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in Springfield, Tennessee, just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Check them out online. All the dealership information is there. GuptonMotors.com is the website, phone number, address, inventory, the deals they have going on, you will find there at GuptonMotors.com. 24 West or Clarksville, exit 35 is just 9 miles outside the city. Then a straight shot into the best vehicle buying experience you will ever have had. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, 3450 Tom Austin Highway. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you. At 3HL 104.5 on X. 3HL on Instagram. Can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
The F&M Bank Chat is open. Big story of the afternoon. Titans quarterback Malik Willis is now Green Bay Packers quarterback Malik Willis. Titans trade Malik for a 7th-round pick, and his time in Nashville is done.
Yep. I want to different pastures.
May or may not be funny coming up.
Oh, it's been a while.
It has.
Now, we did one. Oh, Dawn was out. We did one Wednesday last week because, this means you haven't heard the intro.
I have not.
There's an intro for May or May Not Be Funny. And this one involves Jameis Winston.
I'm sure it's already funny.
I love
that guy.
Me some Jameis Winston.
He's a guy.
Like, if you need a life coach out there, just following you around,
Jameis is
telling you what to do. His references, he always has references, and they're always bizarre references. Like, how did you come up with that one?
I almost feel like he does it on purpose now.
Guess what, man? You got so much.
Because, that can't be real life.
I think so. When you talking, you got so much to. You can't go back in with the same thing. You can't get the same message again. So you got to just start.
You're right. You
grabbing
can't
stuff out there.
eat W's again.
Man, that was weird.
That was so good.
That was weird. That was so weird.
We out here eating doves. It is similar kind of path, but we'll do that in a little bit. Charles Davis said during the broadcast, he was talking up NWI, and he said, I think NWI might be the number 4 receiver on this team.
Oh. And Slay, to that, what do you say?
I mean, that's Vol on Vol.
I say that. I say that's, hey, he got an opinion. Everybody got to have one when you use the bathroom. Don't they? Oh, you can't. Got to have a decatheter or something.
Oh, my gosh.
Listen,
this town needs an enema.
It kind of goes with what Babs was saying. Like, when you talk about the consistency, him always showing up, and my pushback on that is the potential that you get out of a guy like Traylon Burks is totally different if he hits. If NWI hits, you know what you're going to get. NWI doesn't. That's cool if he's your 4th, but it's going to be okay for him to be your 5th. Traylon Burks
which is what he is.
It's not okay for Traylon Burks to be your 5th or your 4th. He needs to be in the rotation. That's the problem because of what he has, the attributes and everything, if he taps into what he's supposed to be. That's the problem. NWI, if he taps into what he's supposed to be, is never going to be your 1, 2, or 3. I'm sorry.
Agreed. I think, here's the question. D-Hop isn't ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago.
Yep.
Who's your next guy up?
You know who you lining up. Traylon.
I think that's
the only thing.
So
Ridley, he's not
Ridley, Boyd,
so,
Traylon.
Yes.
100%.
So in my mind, that makes him the 4th, right? I mean, you're not going.
If he's not there, yeah. You're not going to put
NWI
Jackson right there
over.
Traylon Burks is not. He's the 4th. Yeah. He's ahead of NWI.
There's no ifs or buts about it.
That's why I thought that comment stood out to me.
Yeah, whether he's been on the field or if he's not, I don't know how you would.
I know why he said it because NWI is so consistent.
He's always there,
and he's always there, and he's always doing the right thing, and he's running the right routes. He's all of that. Mm-hmm. He's in the preseason. He's made some great catches, contested catches.
Some high balls been thrown to him.
Right, like almost got killed.
Yep.
Who was that? That was a Malik ball, wasn't it?
That was Malik.
Yes.
Mason gave one yesterday.
Mason did give it, yeah.
He still reached out and got it. So, yeah, I totally get it. My whole thing is, man, if that's what you want to be your number 4, then I think you're in trouble if your 3 goes down, whoever your 3 is. Consistency is right here. That's just you going.
You think
right
they're in trouble
along.
if 1,
He's
2, 3
a great core
not.
guy.
I think you should
not a scale tilter.
I think you should also plan for D-Hop not being there for the opener.
Yeah, you've said that.
I'm cool if not.
Does that worry people? Does that bother people?
No, I think
it doesn't bother me. Like I think if you roll into Chicago with those 4, I think let's go.
Mm-hmm.
There are many other positions on this team where if you lost a guy, you would be hurt dramatically worse than that.
And I still think, man, when you come down to it, at the end of the day, outside of Calvin Ridley and Tyler Boyd, I think there may be more receptions combined with the two running backs than it will be whoever that third receiver is at the time. You know what I'm saying? Even if D-Hop out there, if it's D-Hop, Tyler Boyd, and Calvin Ridley, two of those receivers they can lead the team in receptions. The running backs are going to, we see it. And we just getting a glimpse of it. The impact that the running backs are going to have in the passing game is going to be different. Tajay Spears split all the way out wide one play, and didn't come back. Like sometimes they split him out wide just to see like what the defense is in. He didn't come back.
We saw a lot more of that in this game with the offensive unit going deep in the second quarter with 2 drives. But I kept coming back to, remember when Brian Callahan said, we'll have a lot of eye candy? That's what I kept thinking during the game, because they would run somebody into the backfield and then pitch it the other way.
Yep. On that play you was talking about earlier to start the show with Will Levis coming back around. Jaquan Jackson came in first. Yeah. And then went back out the other way. And then they gave it to him. So it will be a lot of eye candy. I think he's going to be a piece of the eye candy. He reminds me of, especially coming off of playing New Orleans, what's his name, Rashee Rice? Is that you know what I'm saying? The guy that torched the Titans last year for the Saints. That ain't his name.
I was going to say Rashee's
what's his name? Golly.
Ricky.
I'm going to find it. Hold on. But go ahead. At the same time.
Hold on, but go ahead.
Yeah,
I just had my notebook out and I was just writing down names and little things during the game. I wrote down Jalen Harrell's name like 3 times.
Yeah.
This guy continues to show up. And it's funny because
Shaheed, that's right. Thank you. Shaheed. A speedster.
Yeah.
That torched the Titans last year. That's what Jaquan Jackson reminds me of.
But it's funny with Jalen Harrell and the head coach last week said, this guy's gone from, late round draft pick to rotational guy.
Yeah.
And man, there was a camera shot from behind the defense where they were starting to huddle up, and he is a grown A man.
Who was that?
Jalen Harrell.
Oh, yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Dude, they got some. When you talk about a type that they like defensively, long, rangy, athletic, speedy guys, like you can see it. You can see it all day. As far as the guys that they're going to get now, not what they kind of inherited, but what they're going to get right now. You can see it. Jalen Harrell is one of them guys. Stabbing guys coming off the end. Yeah. Long arms pretty cool.
Wrote down MPF and Radins in the screen game. I'm telling you, man, if you can go back and watch the screen to the right where MPF got down the field and my man was moving, and he caught a DB that had like jumped up in the air.
Yeah.
And I mean, planted him.
Ain't it good to see them big boys out in front like that, man?
Yeah.
Even on pass protection players, them pulling Skoronski around to block the edge, like we're gonna be in for some off. We're gonna have to go back and watch a lot of tape. As far as the way we got to cover the Titans, because it ain't no more lineup hit the first person in the mouth. You pulling guys around. It's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on,
man.
And these guys are athletic enough to at least look like they can do it.
Yeah. I love it. I like where it's at.
So how important is it that the head coach said they know who the offensive line is and they've known for a minute?
It's obvious.
Yeah.
It is
They've
obvious.
kept it the same.
But remember when MPF was out and the talk was who's the right tackle?
Yep.
And remember I said they think he's the right tackle even though he's not even out here.
Yeah, you do. Yep.
But for him that's one thing for them to say that, but for him to go out there and earn that.
Right.
They needed him to earn that.
Yeah.
And, you go back to the athleticism on the offensive line now with this new system. I think it's really benefited Dylan Radins' game too.
Yep. It has. They've been able to put him at his normal position. I remember Savage talked about him being not a tackle, but being a guard. He was more productive. Now you got him now. I think it gives you more of a...
But he's not a sumo wrestler kind of offensive lineman, right? Like he's an athletic guy.
Yeah, you have to tailor your offenses to the guys that you have. These are not the guys that you picked. These are the guys that you have. So you got to tailor the offense to them. It may be different if they go in the next year draft and find another guard or another tackle. Well, no, they could change. They can have some other stuff they want to do. But for this group,
hope they do.
Yeah, right. For this group though, this is what they have, and it's like, okay, well, we're gonna make the most out of this right here. So, and it's not one of those, man, we got to plug him in there because it ain't nobody else available.
Right.
No, like you said, they went and earned those spots.
Yeah, and I think Brunskill is the swing guy, right? And then Rupchich right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that,
it's getting ugly.
Jalen Duncan and all those guys, I know they're working hard, but there's a major drop-off at least right now. 615-737-1045. Johnny in Nashville. Johnny, what's up?
Hey, guys, what's going on? Appreciate you taking my call.
Yo.
Hey, I'm a lifelong fan, obviously, born and raised in Nashville, but I got a pet peeve I got to tell you guys. I hate when people call in and they think they know what the Titans need to do, or I hear it all the time being a native, oh, well, he's a good guy. We really liked him. Well, if he was a great player, the coaches would have probably kept Malik around. It's not our feelings, but he didn't fit in our system. They got some value out of him, and let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were going to Don's point, I think they were going to try to practice squad him. Slay said it too. We all did. I think they were going to try to practice squad him and hope he didn't get poached, and if he did, fine. But they found someone that was willing to give them a 7th-round pick, so you do it, right? Like that's where they were going to go with 2 quarterbacks on the 53.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any secret about that. That's been the talk for a while.
And Slay has a list over there for
good guy contest
guys
list.
like that. The good guy list. Marcus Mariota is still on it.
Yeah, Joe Milton is on it now.
Remember Chance Warmack? He was a good guy, and he actually bet on himself to fail.
Yeah, he did. Took out an insurance policy that he would not get a second contract.
What?
Cashed in on it.
Oh, that was genius.
Right?
Now, I'm sure.
That's knowing yourself.
I'm sure he took it out thinking injury or something like that. Not that he wouldn't be good enough to get a
just
second.
in case I don't get a second contract, I got an insurance policy.
I'm going to take this out just in case.
You never hear that guy. Hey, man, I'm out here to bet against myself.
That's dope. That's what's up.
It's bizarre.
That's what's up.
Isn't that bizarre?
Hey, betting, you got to get the money. Get the money, man.
Are we concerned about Rashad Weaver?
Yes.
Boy, he got pancaked on one play.
Mm-hmm.
That was my guy coming off
Slay,
that
are
show
you?
Friday. Yeah, I mean, because I said like at some point we can't see the flashes. We got to go see impact. Him being around the ball, like it's.
He had a Seth just said in my ear. He had a tough coverage rep too.
Yeah,
where he
saw that we got turned around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was going to the right. They cut back. His little hips couldn't get back around. It was rough.
His little hips.
Yeah, it was rough right there.
Do you think he's lost too much weight?
I wonder, man. The way he got pancaked by that tackle.
Yeah,
on that one play that's all over the internet.
Only thing with that though, like that can happen to anybody.
It can.
Like Big Jeff picked a human being up that's a starting guard and tossed him. That's established. It made Mark Mariano be like, "Oh, is that such and such?" Like, wait a minute, I know him. Like, that's a big dude, a strong dude. So anybody can get caught. But I do think it hurt, man. Like, it's you got to find your niche, man. You got to find your niche. What you do best, and maybe it's at a different spot.
Do you think he's over?
I don't. You know what, Babs? I don't know. I haven't said that.
with regard,
I have no clue now. I threw myself off on that.
With regard to his body, do you think he's overthinking things? Like because two off seasons ago, he bulked up and got big, and that guy named Hercules or whatever was his weight guy, and now he dropped all this weight to get faster.
Man, I honestly don't know. I think he's just whatever it is. You got to hurry up and find it, because while trying to find it, man, like things can pass you by. The league don't stop. And guys ain't gonna keep getting better, and guys ain't gonna keep challenging. Like you see a guy like Jalen Herrera coming in, like it's people gonna continue to knock on the door, and that's one thing that's not like offensive linemen. You can go find pass rushers, not maybe the elite, but you can find somebody to disturb. Yeah, like you can disturb the quarterback. So that's the thing, man. I gotta go look again, man. I don't even see them disturbing guys back there.
I did write down Rashad Weaver made a play. I forget where it was or what it was, but I did write it down.
Once?
Mm-hmm. Turn the page.
Well, I hope you would write that down at least once when he's playing against threes.
Yeah. That's the other part. He's getting a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
Maybe when he get in there with the ones, he
rise up.
Everybody forget. They're looking at Arden, they're looking at Sweat, they're looking at Harold, Big Jeff. Maybe Coburn comes in. Maybe Weaver comes out, subs Harold out. It's like
demands double
somebody
team.
got to get tired.
Yeah.
If he runs up in between the tackles behind Coburn, nobody even see him.
Yeah.
And he's not small.
And Coburn can move, too.
Coburn is huge.
Yeah. Let's see.
615-737-1045. Mark in the Borough next up on 3HL. Mark, what's up?
Hey, you guys think that they traded from the league to put on the practice squad or to be part of their 53-man roster? And
Adam Schefter wrote that he likely will back up Jordan Love. Yeah.
That's big.
Wow.
They're not going to trade a 7th-round pick to
hold
put
on.
him on the practice squad.
Hold on, caller. You said wow, because I kind of wowed that in my head right then, too. What was your wow about, though?
that means that they see some value in Malik.
Okay.
We don't.
Mm-hmm.
Which that makes sense anyway. We got a great backup as it is.
Yeah.
But that means somebody else sees some value in him.
Yep,
and
good for him.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, LaFleur might see something. Yeah, he might know what he might know what he's looking for. I was just saying the same thing when you said, "Wow, that's crazy."
I'm proud of him.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, no, I mean it's great for Malik, great for the Titans.
Yeah,
great for the Packers.
Everybody wins.
Everybody.
Although the Titans do see them week 3.
That's gonna be scary.
So.
Yeah. Well, but guess what?
I'm sure Malik will do a great job as their scout quarterback.
This a different staff though, because we heard about when they went up there when the Titans went up there to play the Eagles, and A.J. Brown said none of the plays or calls or signals or anything was changed. Everything was the same.
Isn't that crazy? And they'd even changed offensive coordinators, haven't they?
Yeah, and everything was still the same.
Well, I mean, it takes a lot of effort to change things, Slay. I mean, it's easier just to roll with what you got.
Yeah.
Coaches all the time say, hey, it's about execution.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
to an extent.
You need the Jimmies and the Joes for that.
Yeah.
If you ain't got the Jimmies and the Joes, you sure as hell better get creative and change stuff.
Which it's a lot easier to find mismatches in college, not in the NFL.
Correct.
That was tough, man. That was tough.
Yeah, that was
pretty funny.
Beyond.
Was it unexpected?
Hey, man.
Was it a surprise? Negative.
Ghost Rider.
The pattern is full.
All right, more Titans talk when we come back. Your phone call 615-737-1045. Malik Willis traded to the Green Bay Packers. We'll be right back.
What's happening, people? Let's get to know the guy in charge of Wesley Mortgage. That's Chuck McDowell. He got a whole lot of other businesses as well, but you need to get to know him, man. He is a Nashville native. Yes, he cares about the community because he grew up in the community. So with that being said, he's seen the changes come along, but that's why he reinvests in the people to help this place continue thriving and be such a wonderful place right here in Nashville. Chuck McDowell, the leader of Wesley Mortgage, whywesley.com. Now, the mortgage is up and down right now. You need to get involved. If you want to get involved, you should get involved with a team so you don't put so much on your shoulders. You can get with Wesley Mortgage, who already has a support team in place that can help you succeed in the mortgage business. Now, ensuring your loans close on time, making sure you get paid, giving you back the time to build your business. All makes sense, right? Well, go to whywesley.com and have networking opportunities with the Tennessee Titans, Music City Grand Prix, Nashville Predators, and more. All you got to do is go to whywesley.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Who left the honey roasted almonds in here?
That would be Big Savage.
Well,
Big
they
Savage did
might not be here when he gets here in the morning.
They've been getting
they are
dusted.
yummy.
They've been getting dusted.
There's honey roasted dust in there.
That's a lot of it, too. It looked good.
I haven't tried them yet, but Bev said they were good.
I wonder, could you eat the
Why
dust?
you got to tell on me?
Yeah,
You told on yourself. I wasn't going to tell on you.
I mean, you snooze, you lose. You leave food around here, it's done.
That's true.
Especially with Pan and Hitman and Hunk running around here.
Mm-hmm. All of the above.
Those are the three. You just made a bunch of shots in a row into the garbage can.
4 in a row. I'm back in the groove. I'm in my athletic groove now, y'all.
Get into the groove.
It's time to get ready. Football's here. You know what I mean? You know what's coming around the corner as soon as Christmas get here. It's on.
Like Donkey Kong.
Tighten up.
I found a clip today.
What clip?
For may or may not be funny. It's Jameis Winston giving like a pregame speech before a preseason game. And he's trying to get everybody ready. All right? Okay. So hit it, Zev. All right, I already set it up. Here's Jameis Winston. Check it out.
I love it.
It ain't just about having fun, man. Yes, sir. Remember the time you played your best football game of your life. Yes, sir. Remember the time after that victory you went to CC Pizza and celebrated with the boys. Yes, for real. Feel it in your heart, man. Okay. It's a long way back to Cleveland. Yes. Let's not leave it without a victory. Yes. All right? Yes. So put everything you got on the line today. Let's have a game of memory, man. All right? I remember. Let's go. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's have a game of memory. I remember. I really thought they were going to break it down with remember.
Do you know what my favorite part of that is? One of the guys being like, yeah.
Yeah, I remember CC's
My man says CC's Pizza. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, nothing against CC's Pizza. I get it. And that's a great place to go with like little kids playing sports.
I didn't even know that it was still around. I mean, we used to go like twice a week growing up.
I'm going to tell you something, man.
Soccer game?
CC's Pizza. That was so great.
Volleyball game over? CC's.
You got to get there.
That was the first thing he thought of was CC's Pizza.
You
know he had specific memories about going to CC's Pizza as a kid.
I gave a speech so much for any team that I was involved in. And you
like to get ready to play a speech.
Yeah. Hey, dog, I remember.
Were you nervous?
No, hell no. But that's the thing. You can't go about saying you can end each speech the same way, but you can't have your build-up being the same thing. So you start pulling from everywhere. And once the blood is going, it ain't no like I've seen people when we come back to the tunnel to get ready to go out for the lineup, like guys be like, "Hey man, what was you talking about? Like, how'd you get that? Like, where would you go with that?" And you start going. Once you get going, it's like I relate it to like a pastor. You get going, man, and you just got to deliver the message at the end. That's all it is. It's about the message. Not necessarily how you get to the message, who's delivering it. It's just about what the message contains at the end.
It's like you're driving down the interstate. You can't just stop.
Yeah. You got
to find the exit.
Yeah. it might be wild, and all of them ain't going to hit.
At a high rate of speed for some of us.
The ones that do hit, boy, they legendary.
But what was funny, the CC Pizza was funny to me, but also when he said, let's make this a memory game. I remember. And then it sounded like they were confused. He's like, break it down. And it sounded like they were confused that they were going to break it down with I remember.
I got to go with the same thing. You know what ours was? Every single time. From my junior year on. Kick ass on 3.
Oh.
I can't say that?
Yeah, you can.
Oh. Yeah, that was our thing.
I like to say Quesame. We would do Quesame. Quesame. 1, 2, 3. Quesame.
Okay, I was like,
kick some.
Yeah. No.
We kept it clean.
Quesame.
No, I wouldn't. No.
Oh, yeah, you guys were all rowdy. What are you doing keeping it clean?
Coach Peterson, get on out of here, man. You ain't saying this with us. I'm talking about it. It echoed down the hallway.
Was it kick some?
No, just kick ass.
Okay.
On 3, baby.
I always remembered Al Wilson.
That was a movie?
Kick Ass is definitely, it's a movie.
Oh, okay.
Hilarious.
I remember Al Wilson always said ball till you fall.
Mm-hmm.
He said
I like that
all over the place, so that's what I always told my kids.
That's a good one.
Ball till you
steal that. Thanks, Al.
Hey, Big Al didn't mess around.
The guy still ain't hit me back.
What? Oh, he's funny
weekend.
like that, though.
I know. I'll see him this weekend. I'll get on him. Come on, Alizé. Don't do me like that.
Alizé.
Big Al, also a good movie.
Who?
What?
Big Albert? It's a great movie.
Fat Albert?
That's Fat Albert.
Fat Albert. That's what I'm thinking
I
of.
was saying Big
Zeph,
Albert.
no.
Big Albert over there in Franklin. You talking about Hainsworth or something?
Fat Albert. That's a great movie.
Hainsworth looks great, too.
Yes, he does. Let's see,
Speaking of Hainsworth, he said he would come in studio for an hour one day. I
did
need,
we?
to hit
Come
him
on.
back. I need to hit him back.
Gotta hit him up, too. Got a couple of people we got to get on.
Big Al, you listening? Let's go. No, yeah, so Tennessee, a 38.5-point favorite this weekend. Vanderbilt, a 13.5-point favorite. I mean, underdog, sorry.
I was like, wait, what? Did I miss? Whoa.
Who's the underdog?
Vandy's
Vandy.
13.5-point underdog.
Can Vandy pull it off?
So if you look at the matchup predictor,
No.
like Tennessee's 99% chance to win. Vanderbilt is like 43%, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
As almost a 2-touchdown underdog.
I got a team we should watch this weekend.
Hit it.
My team to watch.
I thought you had one.
I do. Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame. I think Texas A&M.
Texas A&M?
I think Texas A&M. I don't know how Texas A&M is the favorite in this. I would think that it would be Notre Dame, but what are they? Number 20 A&M, and in Notre Dame is 6.
Maybe 19 or
They
20.
lose this, and Texas A&M get this win. The momentum that can be built down there with A&M with that fan base.
With
With Elko can be a little scary because they are a lot more quiet with him at the helm than they were when Jimbo was there.
They have been quiet.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, because it's been a disaster.
That's dangerous.
It's been, I mean, how many years of unfulfilled expectations has it been for Texas A&M?
I'm with you.
I mean, we can count them.
Yeah, I'm
Go
with
back
you.
to Kevin Sumlin.
I forgot about Kev. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Babs. Like, boy, they get it right. You talking about somebody
Jimbo.
that's dying to be good?
Oh, my gosh.
They dying to be good.
Notre Dame
I
7,
feel like we
Texas
say
A&M
this
20.
every year, though. It's like, oh, man, watch out. If Texas A&M can put it together and, oh, look at their recruiting class.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. This is the year. They've got the quarterback. And then it's like every year.
Notre Dame needs
something
just as bad.
To your point, Brian Callahan show's coming up, but to your point, Notre Dame, they get past that, then they got McNeese at Florida, Bowling Green, Arkansas, then a big one against Missouri, where both of those teams would be in the top 10
They need this.
potentially.
They need this.
I feel like a lot of people are cool on Missouri right now, too.
They kind of went hell from
They were
sizzling
here,
hot to
and then
I'm with
people just kind of hopped off the train.
Right.
Drink's been kind of quiet, too.
Oh, Savage said sitting
Well,
in the
I
parking
wonder
lot
if
about
he's-
his almonds too, Babs.
Worried. I saw that.
Oh, I'm not going to take any of that.
I said-
Sorry, Savage.
Bring it.
Oh. See him in the parking lot.
Time to go.
Brian Callahan
Just
show's
kidding.
coming up
He ain't
next.
here, is
Does he have anything to talk about?
Oh, yeah.
And he says stuff, so guaranteed
good
enjoyment.
Great
listening.
listen.
Man, fun day. A lot of y'all involved today. We appreciate that. Football season is here in full swing. We'll get more into college football as we roll through the week, as the Titans obviously are off. NFL starting next week. And again, big story of the day, Malik Willis traded to the Green Bay Packers. You can get the head coach's take on that immediately. Coming up next, as Mike Keith will visit with him. The Brian Callahan Show is next. We appreciate you including us in your day. We do not take that for granted, and we do not take that lightly. Appreciate y'all. Have a great night. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be unless you're Traylon Burks, Tajay Spears, or someone that made the 53-man roster. Be safe.
Good luck.